Oh, okay. I'm here. Let's see here. Sound Mind, KP, Snooks. What's going on, everybody? I was rolling up some some good stuff. I found homes for all the all the big puppies. These two were the two little runts. I got and that was the only female out of all of them. There were 7 dogs altogether and one female. All the rest of them were males. And this one and the other one right here behind me were the 2 runts. So I'm kind of holding on to them for a little longer, simply because they're just so small right now, and I think they need to get a bit bigger. They're old enough. They're just small to find homes for. I think I don't know. Plus, they're really cute, and they need some looking after because they're like I said, they were the runts. They were the last one to get food, and one got picked on all the time. Now, and as of today, 5 of them found homes for, and but I ended up yeah, I only got these 2 left. These are the 2 runts, the runt of the litters, the 2 runts of the litters, and I want to let them get a little bit bigger before I try and find homes for them. But and plus, you know, they have a more of a fighting chance instead of with the 5 other brothers fighting over the food and everything. I mean, at the moment, I was thinking about having a little bit of a fire tonight after the sun goes down. You know, I could. Sorry. Probably be able to hear and see some of the fireworks. But at this very moment, it's sprinkling out there. I mean, it was raining just a little bit ago, and it's down to a sprinkle right now. I don't know if you can see that. Well, but anyway, I might do that anyway if it doesn't continue raining on me. Because I want to sit out here and I don't know, man. A lot of times, man, they have something down there at the baseball field down there by the high school. They'll do something. I don't know if they're doing anything. I don't know when. Most likely they will. I don't know. Just depending on the weather, I guess. But um, I think I'm going to stay right here and kind of just see if I can see it from my yard, or at least hear it anyway. I know they're freaking cute. And these two, because they're so small, I mean, they're like tiny compared to the other boys, the other puppies, and so they're just that much more cute. I'm telling, I'm telling you, man. I mean, I've seen all these dogs that I've had since, well, let's see here, for the past 5 years. Hell, I've seen all of them born. Um, so all of them are like my kids. So that's the reason why I don't want to like take them down to a pound or anything like that. You know what I mean? Because I just, it's just better off if I just, can find a good family to take care of them. You know, and I have pretty decent luck doing that. You know, it usually doesn't take me very long to find homes. I can probably sit at either like the Walmart or the Tractor Supply parking lot. I mean, it's been freaking hot for the past 2 days, but I can sit out there and in a couple hours, I can have all of them, if not all, most of them, if not all of them, you know, found homes by then, within a couple of days. So, I mean, it took me Friday and Saturday to find five of them homes. You know what I mean? So, nah, I don't know. Man. I don't need any more girls. I've got two adult girls to give me fucking puppies, enough puppies. So I don't need any more girls. And I don't know if I really need I don't know, a boy dog running around here. I don't know. Um, like I said, I'm still going to probably most likely let them grow up a little bit more, and then what's up, Cheryl? And then find these two homes also. You know, and quite honestly, right now I just can't afford it. You know what I mean? I can't afford more dogs. I mean, if I didn't have to worry about, you know, the dog food and all that stuff and keeping them fed, if I didn't have to worry about that, shit, I'd fucking, I'd have a pack of them out here. That'd be cool. What's up, Yankee? My feet stink. Well, they must stink. You can smell them all the way over there. They don't stink that bad. Hell, these dogs will lick them all day long, man. I got dog licking my toes, chewing on my toes. They think it tastes pretty good. Going into town for a drink. Ah, yeah, I hear you, Yankee. I ain't doing shit. I'm gonna sit right here at the fucking house, smoke my dinner, and have me an orange crush soda. Brandon, what's going on? Guys, I don't have mine hung up at the moment. The pole, I don't. The pole kind of fucked up on me, but I got my patriotic like flag sitting here. Yay! Look at that. She's chewing on my toe. She's chewing on my toes. She's chewing on my toes. Well, that's the correct way in this day and age to to fly that flag, Brandon. I'm gonna tell you, to be honest and be truthful, about it. What's up, PDF? I'll just remain ever hopeful. Yeah. I'll remain ever hopeful that I'll get my lightsaber and my TARDIS uh within my lifetime before I die. I have faith that the future me will bring my TARDIS and my and my lightsaber to me. I'm not trying to make fun of you. I'm just, I am. I don't. I just it's the words faith and hope. Well, she's just gonna take them way the hell out there for a walk. Look at that. Those puppies are following her way out there. Maybe that'll teach the puppies to shit way the fuck out there instead of close to the house. That would be cool. Because I'm tired of it, man. That's one thing that irritate me about puppies is they shit right where I walk, everywhere I walk. So everywhere I walk, I gotta pay attention on where, every step, or I'm gonna fucking hit a pile of shit. I, always- yeah, I always gotta watch where I walk around here. Because once these puppies start eating like regular food and shit, they start shitting everywhere. And what my dogs will learn to do is not shit anywhere near the house. They shit way the fuck away from the house. Look how cute she is. Look how cute he is. He's so cute. Real Matt, what's going on? He's going to lay right there. Yeah. So what's everybody doing tonight? I mean, hell, like I said, when it gets a little darker, I might get the fire going and sit by the fire and see if I can hear and see all the fireworks that are supposed to be shot off tonight. I don't know. I did hear a few things getting shot off already yesterday and a little bit earlier today, or last night anyway. Put it that way. Peanuts. How late does he work anyway, man? Oh, Cali time. Oh, no shit. Well, if anybody does want to come up on panel and kind of keep the conversation going, because otherwise I don't know what the fuck to talk about. If anybody does want to come up, man, yeah, wait a minute. Let's see here. I'll put it in the fucking thing. I mean, if I know you, if I don't know you, I'm not gonna let you up. But you know, uh, well, I'm gonna have to get to know you first. Because I mean, otherwise, I'm just kind of sitting here. I'm smoking one. And I got a mouthful of butterscotch hard candy. Uh huh. Is that what the kids are calling it these days? I don't do edible, whatever. I'm not smoking on my doughy, man. Enough to fucking keep it lit. Well, I mean, that's just goes to. I mean, that's elementary. I mean, like I said, Snooks. I've said this before. I don't care what fucking people think of me, but all women are crazy. They're just different levels of crazy. So that's just a given. That yes, you were. That's by your nature. Yes, of course it is. You're a woman. That's you. You know, you're made wacky. You're made fucking crazy. You're just some. There's some crazies that some people can deal with, and some crazies that you know. I mean, I mean, you know. Hell, if I had like a little swimming pool with a bunch of guppies in there, gnawing at my toes, I'd do that too. I just don't have a pool full of guppies. I've got puppies instead of guppies. See, Yankee? Okay, are you talking about the women thing? Because they are. They're all crazy. It's in their nature. Just like different levels, you know. There's crazy out there that is tolerable and actually considered, you know, like endearing or quirky. You know what I mean? But then there's that crazy where next thing you know, she's like setting your car on fire, and you wake up in the morning and she's standing next to your bed with a fucking kitchen knife. That's a whole nother level of crazy. You know what I mean? So you're one with your crazy. May the force be with you. Huh. Wait a minute. There's women in here. I know. Cheryl. Cheryl, I know. you're crazy too. It's just that your crazy's not like way off the charts and scale. You know, your crazy's not that bad. You know what I mean? So I mean, but all women are crazy, and I'm hell. I mean, in some ways, I think all men are crazy too. But I don't know, man. Women put all that emotional shit into it. It just makes them crazy, crazy, crazy. Goofy, right? Right. I mean, like I said, I mean, there are some quirks that some people would call crazy, but they're actually very kind of like endearing. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know. That's why it's cheaper to rent. Yeah. That's funny. Oh man. I mean, I'm sitting here trying to do the math in my head. I don't know. I mean, we need to like get the flow charts out and shit. You know, start doing some graphs. Statistical readings with numbers and shit. No, I'm fine. What's training? Really? You know, and that's another thing too, man. Because this robot shit and AI stuff, man. I mean, they if they do make them cheap enough where like people can like just affordably go out and buy one of these suckers that will actually do the dishes and stuff like that. I think because I was watching a video the other night, and it was like one of those full size humanoid robots that China puts out. Um, the fucking they had it like on display, and there was just like this dad and his kid like going up there and looking at it, and this kid was like, "I want one. I want two of them. When I get old enough, I want to get two of these." I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, this is the beginning of trying to normalize this kind of thing, and then next thing you know, which is the goal of these companies to have one of these things in every household. You know what I'm saying? At least one. I mean, and that's the reason why they put all these damn videos of these fucking robots dancing and shit. It gets the kids on board. I saw one walking around, a video of this one. It was one of those dog robots that was walking around like a park or whatever, but it was dressed up like a dragon or some shit. And it was just cool for the kids. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because the kids really got into that. You know what I mean? So that's another way of like normalizing it into the next generations. This is normal. So don't think twice about robots being around us all the time. You know what I'm saying? And it's the beginning of it, dude. You know, in some ways, there's a part of me now. I mean, I'm getting older, and I know it. I'm not as old as I used to be. You know what I mean? So I mean, and plus, I've 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 not really taken the best care of my body over the years. So I mean, if things were to kick off in this nation, they need to hurry it up. While I still got some fight in me. Otherwise, the whole purpose of me and probably my generation is to just train and wake up the young generation to be prepared and willing to fight for freedom. And that's probably the whole reason why we're here is just to do that and not do the actual physically fight, you know. But I don't know. My dogs are sitting here looking at me like, "What the fuck you talking to? Who you talking to?" I'm talking to them on this thing. That's who I'm talking to. So I'm not talking to y'all. I'm just talking to them on the phone. Cool. All right. Big girl looking at me like, "Shut up, you stupid." And then on top of that, I was starting to think about like even on the like the a whole different thing like on the porn industry and stuff, like how that's gonna like AI and robotics are gonna change that. A lot of these girls that are trying to make a lot of money by showing their coochie off all the time might not have a job anymore because they got fucking taken over by robots and AI. Wouldn't that be crazy? You know, girls won't even be able to make money showing their plot off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the music thing, that's really starting to irritate me. Now, I can understand like in some aspects, you know, um, because I started thinking about like back when I was making music, a lot of the equipment was like this big equipment to lug around and shit. Now, a lot of this stuff, the equipment can be reduced down to a computer program, so it's just like a screen, just, all the dials and knobs and shit like that are all fucking just right there on your screen. And, you don't have to lug around all this equipment. You got it on your computer. Like a PA, a synthesizer, or drum machine, samplers, fucking, effects processors, whatever. Um, a lot of that stuff, a lot of those things, like were to create the sounds, and then on top of that was actually to manipulate sounds that you import into that stuff. Now it's all done on a fucking computer, and then they want to replace the human creativity and replace it with the AI creativity instead, making people stupid where they can't create anything without asking fucking Chat GPT or fucking Googling it. You know what I mean? They just the creativity is no longer there. And that's the goal, I think, in my opinion, because I think that's one of the things that powers that should not be really are jealous of us, the regular people, is that we have so much creativity. They don't have it. I don't think they have it at all. I think that's one of the things they're seriously just like literally jealous of. And if they can squash our creativity, they they would feel like they won. You know what I'm saying? Um, so and that's where I think like the rebellious part that's like in our DNA as true Americans is to seriously, like one of the most American values is being against government. You know, all this brouhaha for the 250 years so far has been these fucking assholes that a lot of people left those countries to get away from. You know what I mean? And those motherfuckers came over here and started that same shit that they did over there, over here, and now where we're at now, all fucking been hoodwinked and sold a bill of goods. You know, I mean, seriously, I love this nation, but this fucking thing that's been calling itself the government for the past 250 years has been a traitor to the American people the whole goddamn time. All right. So that right off the bat, in my opinion, is what the fuck are we celebrating, really? I mean, I'm just asking. Our independence from Britain? Well, aren't we still economic monetary slaves to the British Crown? Are we not? I mean, if you actually dig into the actual truth of it all, did we gain our independence? And then, the Constitution's a whole nother thing, man, because I'm gonna tell you something, man. That fucking thing is a beautiful document, but I'm gonna tell you something, man. The thing is there's no enforcement to force government to obey the supreme law of the land that this document is supposed to be, it was penned on paper for in the first place. So, you know, when you got private corporations like Flock putting fucking cameras all over the place and the fucking cops are using it for nefarious reasons and shit like that. And, this is not American. This is fucking tyranny, you know? And it's pretty funny. I was sitting there watching these things. It's like there's people all over the fucking, talking, all these young people and stuff talking about they're gonna do a whole bunch of fucking shit today, and a lot of it was gonna be aimed at Flock cameras. But we'll see what happens. I know a lot of people are beginning to realize the truth behind Flock cameras and the whole all the technology that's like related to that. I mean, including, the surveillance tool that they all carry with us right now is pretty much as a cell phone. Almost everybody carries this once, you know, but, you know, still, you know, when you got private corporations pretty much, just doing whatever they want to do with the government backing against our natural rights, you know what I mean? It pisses me off because they all have this attitude. Well, we'll ask for forgiveness, not for permission, but we'll ask for forgiveness if somebody calls us out on it. That irritates me. That attitude. Got to be at the bar in 5 minutes. Fuck the bars. But good to see you, Yankee. I'm gonna tell you. You know, When do you have 6 months? No, not here in the yard. Not too much. We keep the yard out here pretty damn manicured as it is. So most of them are out there in the bushes and in the woods and stuff. And these pups don't go out there. I mean, these dogs will every once in a while go out there, but I don't have that much of a problem unless unless they spend a lot of time out there in the woods and then they do come, especially big girls, she'll come out. That's the worst part about ticks too, is when they start getting in their ears and stuff, and I can't pull them out because it hurts so much. So you just gotta wait until they fucking just fill up and fall off by themselves. And that's the sucky part too, because then they're irritating their ears the whole damn time. I don't have any stuff to put in their ears or anything like that, but um, anyway, uh, we go walking out in the woods every once in a while, but I try not to go too much simply because I know we'll get into shit. And it's just better if they stay out here close to the house because there's just not really anything out here to worry about. When fleas is another whole thing. I got fleas out the ass underneath, and I spray for them, and I give these dogs baths every so often, and it's just like a constant battle with fleas. Uh, you know, I gave these two a bath today, and hopefully they'll be okay for a couple of days anyway. What's wrong with your foot? You were licking your foot. What's wrong with your foot? It's like it's got red. Are you bleeding? What is wrong with your foot? What's wrong with your foot? Quit. I want to see what's wrong with your foot. Let me look. Let me look. Why you gotta be such an asshole? Trying to see. What? Move your head. I'm trying to see your foot. Quit. Why is your paw so fucking red? Huh? What's wrong with your foot? Come on. What's wrong? Ah, too damn skinny, girl. I know. You're making milk for those damn puppies, but you're getting fucking skinny. You need to eat some more food. You got plenty of food in your bowl over there. Yeah. And well, see, that's the thing too. It's like because I'm not even sure exactly how the damn, the Gates fucking ticks that was released, those medically fucking genetic fucking shithead releasing some medically shit. I don't know, man. It's like, I mean, and then there's the mosquitoes too that were genetically fucking enhanced mosquitoes and stuff. This is all stuff that was supposed to be like here in Florida. So I don't know. I try to stay away from myself. You know what I mean? Because I don't like ticks either, man. They fucking pain in the ass. But generally, before they get around to even biting me, I usually feel them before they get around to biting me. Usually, so. But when it comes down to these dogs and stuff, man, it's like the worst part is in their ears and shit. Or right around their eyeball. That's another. I've had a couple of ticks that were right on her eyelid. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, damn. And I can't pull it off. You know what I mean? Because it just fucking hurts, and she won't let me do that. So she just fucking you know, what do you call just suffers through it until the damn thing just falls off on its own. And that's I know that's definitely probably not good for the dog, but they're mutts. Good genes. Get good genes. Okay. You see how she was jumping around like, that was funny. Well, yeah, that'll definitely help. I mean, because the way ticks breathe is through their skin, like on their back and stuff. So if you cover that up, they can't breathe. So there is that. But um, a lot of times, man, depends on how long they've been on, been attached or whatever. If they haven't been attached very long, usually I can get them off pretty damn easy. It just hurts for that split second of me yanking it off. But once they get pretty fat, it gets trickier. And also, if you do it with your fingers or you do it with like a tool, it depends on how you do it. Because I mean, I wouldn't suggest tweezers. There's a thing where you can like get up underneath there and kind of yank it off, but it's kind of like almost like like a miniature pry bar. But um, best thing for it is just like if your dog, for instance, the dog is old enough. I mean, and you want to like um, get like a flea and tick collar, or even like have it on like that medication where it kind of like keeps that stuff off of them just through the medication or whatever. That's cool because I mean, I've actually tried that pill thing years ago on one of my dogs. It worked for like a while. You know what I mean? I didn't have to worry about fleas or ticks, and it was just a fucking pill they took. So I mean, but there's different ways. Like it depends on like these guys are outside all the fucking time. They don't come in the house. I mean, yeah, every once in a great while, a little bit right here. This one right here, the mother, she would come in the house every once in a while. If like it's like thundering and lightning and shit, she gets scared. She wants to come in there. But other than, I mean, I still gotta I kind of spray her down so fleas don't fucking migrate into the house. And her and her mama, both of them, do not really like getting baths for some fucking reason. I don't know why. They love the water. They just fucking want to be assholes when it comes down to getting a bath. Why are you gnawing on your fucking paw? What the fuck's wrong with your fucking feet? Huh? What's wrong with your feet? What is wrong with your feet? Let me look. Why is your feet fucking red under there, huh? Why is it red under there? Does it hurt? What's going on? Why don't you want me to see it? I don't know what I can do if there's anything I can do. I don't know. Yeah, I heard a firework. It's getting around that time. I do stuff like that every once in a while. I've got some. I think somewhere around here. I haven't done it in a while, but I used. But it's just a constant battle. It's like keeping the fleas, and it's all in the sand. I mean, that's just like a natural Florida thing. It's like you got sand. You probably have to deal with fleas. But you know, or once the fleas get there, it's like a pain in the ass to keep them out or get them out. You know what I mean? But it would be kind of cool if there was a natural predator to fleas and ticks. That would be cool. Um, I'm gonna grab me a cigarette. Oh yeah, I live on top of a fucking ant hill, basically. I mean, it's nothing but sand. I mean, you probably get about I don't know. It depends on there's a couple of thick veins of clay. Some of it is around 7 or 8 foot deep. That's when you start hitting clay. But that's the high spots. So I mean, sometimes it's a lot deeper. But there's clay around here too, but it's deep. I'm trying to keep the camera on the pups. They're more interesting to look at. Yeah, when I give these two away, hopefully it would be really cool if they go together. But you know, think that would be cool. So there's got to be like a family out there with some kids and stuff, just you know, around. They're just right around that time when they need fucking. You know what? We need some puppies here too. You know what I mean? That's the reason why I was down at Walmart because I was like all the Fourth of July shit. You know, was going on. They had a big fucking tent selling fireworks and shit. So I parked out there by that. It worked out. You know, I mean, it's just been hot for the past 2 days. That's the only thing. But like I said, give me probably another week or two, maybe fatten these guys up a little bit more, get them a little bit bigger, and try and find them homes too. But while they're here, I'll enjoy their presence. They are so freaking cute sitting here playing with each other. It's fun. So for a station identification break, this is the 1122 Wingnut Radio. I am your host for Anarchy Television. We are affiliated with the Wingnut Collective. You're welcome to join, but there will be a stringent uh, verification process. Oh, cool, Cheryl. I got a short video a while back ago of I think it was Big Girl, or no, it was a little bit out there. She was I guess either I don't know if she was really wasn't chasing around. She was actually I guess trying to like make friends with a few deer that were walking around out there in the yard, but the deer wouldn't let her get close enough. She would just kind of like get to a certain distance, kind of just sit there and look and you know. Yeah. Now, see, I don't drop them off. Um, it's just better off to like when it comes down like little bit and big girl, both of them, it's like they, you know, I was trying to keep one out of the litter, and I didn't want to go too much. I can't afford to have a whole bunch of them, which I don't mind if I could. If I could afford it, man, I'd fence out like the all of this fucking property and have like a whole fucking pack of them because they're fucking good dogs. And these little runts, man, these little runts, I'm gonna tell you, I think they're gonna grow up to be really good dogs. I mean, they're mutt and they're a runt. I think they'll be fucking awesome. I know, man. And I'm not even getting that, regular, name brand shit. Honestly, man, I'll get the same type of dog food like, those hunters use for their dogs when they hunt with dogs and shit. Kind of pretty much get that same kind of food, from the feed and seed store or some shit like that. You know what I mean? It's like I can get like a 15-pound bag for like $35 versus like a 30-pound bag for like $50. You know what I'm saying? And plus, it doesn't have a lot of those fucking all those additives and shit like some other dog foods do. 'Cause I mean, seriously, the dog food is just as bad as the human food that they're feeding us. You know what I mean? Quite honestly, the dog food, some of this like, some of the name brand fancy shit, it's got ingredients in it. It's not good for the dog, just like it ain't good for us. Well, I tell you, man, and that's the thing too, because quite honestly, man, these dogs eat better than I do, and I can't live outside of my means because I mean, right at until I have a reliable uh um money coming in, I kind of have to do what I have to do. There has been times where I couldn't even afford dog food, and I was like, well, instead of um, I'd go hungry for before the dogs would, um, because I'd give them pretty much what I was eating if I couldn't afford dog food. Oh, I hear a couple of fireworks. Breaking my heart over here, a little bit over here, looking all sad. I can tell, and just by looking in her eyes, she's missing that other pups because they're not here right now. Because I mean, I found five of them, families and stuff. So I can see it in her eyes. She's like staring off into space with this sad look, like it reminds me. I think she's missing them, and I'm so I can't tell her how much I'm sorry. Honestly. But they're gonna be taken care of. They're gonna have nice families, people that are gonna feed them and take care of them. So I mean, they're gonna be just fine. They're gonna be doing good. I know, I know you miss them. I know, but they'll do fine. So take care of these things, and for a little while. I don't know. We can keep these guys for a little while longer. Hmm? Oh hell yeah! I know they do. I've known a little bit sitting there. I've known her since she was born. I actually got a video of her being born, I think. Um, so I know her pretty well, and sometimes I think I know her probably more better than she knows herself. But I guess that's how parents are. I guess. Maybe. I can't remember if I went live or not. I think I did a video at least. I think. Because, I mean, the great grandmother of all these dogs it was Jazz. And and then now all I have is pretty much the litter from her. Jazz, Big Girl is Jazz's daughter, and Little Bit is Big Girl's daughter. So I mean, I got this with the puppies. This is 5 generations, the 5th generation when it comes to these puppies of Jazz. Anyway, my first dog that I had like 5 or 6 years ago. And I haven't learned my lesson yet when it comes down to females for some reason. One of the cheapest dog toys, freaking golf ball and a piece of rope tied with a knot tied in it. Man, shit. Seriously, yeah, I don't buy dog toys, man. I don't need to buy any. I'm telling you. They can have oodles and oodles of fun with a piece of rope and a golf ball. Remember, there was a time in our early history of being alive where a golf ball could literally entertain us for like hours, you know. Mm. It'd take quite a lot for them to chew up a fucking golf ball. And quite honestly, Cheryl, yeah, older ones like old the way they used to make golf balls, that is possible. That because they were just basically a bunch of rubber bands tightly, you know, you know, wrapped around each other like into a ball, and then it had a hard coating on top of it. And back in the day when they had that, the way they made that, I can't remember exactly how they make them today. They just don't make them the same. But um, if you were to, like, for instance, cut that thing in half, you would just basically release a whole shitload of fucking rubber bands that were all tight, and that was the explosion part. You know, you think about it. You know, you see those, you know, rubber band balls. You know, imagine cutting a bunch of them and just they start fucking just. And honestly, Cheryl, I don't think they make them the same way anymore. I think they actually make them different so that doesn't happen. Now, while I'm thinking about it, I need to put some wood on this damn thing. So if I'm gonna have a fire on here, I need to put some wood on it. They're pretty cool, girl. You know they've got food. You got food over there in that folder. You know that. your food. You got for them. You got your own food in the floor over here. And you're too damn skinny as it is. Go ahead and eat it. You're gonna continue feeding those things. You're gonna continue letting them feed off of you. You might as well eat something. Well, I don't know. Should I get it started now or should I wait a little bit longer for it to get dark? But it's gonna be dark soon anyway. I mean, it is freaking hot out here though. Golly, almost got started into a dang getting. Whew, ha, ha, ha. Um, let's see here. Guess I could probably get it at least started. Working on dinner? No, no. Holy crap, that damn fire is already hot as shit sitting back here. My God. Better keep the camera away from me. I don't want my camera to overheat. Oh, it didn't take much to get that thing. Look at that. You know, I'm gonna tell you, there's so many youngsters nowadays that be struggling for fucking hours trying to get goddamn fire gun. And it didn't take me long at all, buddy. I'm gonna tell you, you know what I'm saying? Little girl, you better fucking stop me fucking chewing on my onions over there. Come on. Chewing on my onions? No. Chewing on my onions. No. That is another annoying thing about puppies, other than they shit everywhere. They'll go over there and start chewing on my onions. Quite honestly, they need to be up higher so they don't get them. But I mean, that's me. That's on me. I need to put them up higher. Holy crap, that fire is already hot. It's hot as hell outside as it is, and that damn fire is hot. You can feel it on my head right now. What's up, popcorn? Well, I can hear some of the fireworks. People down the way shooting them off. I'm not sure when. I can't remember. I haven't really checked into it, but normally they shoot fireworks down there at the baseball field down by the high school, and I can hear and see some of it from here. So I seriously, I can hear some more. There's people all around me already starting to shoot them off. Um, the only thing is with StreamYard, I can't zoom in and shit like that, so I don't know how well we're going to be able to see anything. But I don't know. If I stay quiet enough, man, you can probably hear the. Oh yeah. I don't know if I demonstrated it quite well enough how I built this fire, but take note to all y'all out there on how easy it was to do that. I mean, I could have gone, a little bit harder, and not used a lighter, but I could have gotten the same result without a lighter. But what's up, SG? Did you get my fucking email? I was trying to find all my UK buds, man, and send them some really American fucking shit, so I don't know. I thought that would be like a good representation of American. I don't know. I sent one to Master Ron also, but they fucking, I don't know, man. It's like my fucking emails go to fucking spam or some shit. So he never reads my emails. And let's see here. Yeah, gun drummer. Yeah. Yep. I mean, sorry about that. When I got in this horizontal position, man, I can't really do shit for the chat and all that stuff, man. And I can only see one comment at a time. So apologize, but I get a better view on the horizontal versus the vertical. But I can get a better view of the chat on the vertical. Well, it is the 4th of July, supposedly the independence. $250 of what we've got today of fucking crap. Now it's this fucking corporation calling itself the government has been a traitor to us for the past 250 years. So I don't know exactly what we're celebrating. I mean, if you want to believe in this fucking fantasy world shit, yeah, go ahead and celebrate that. But the reality is, I'm not sure exactly what we're fucking celebrating here. Don't get me wrong, this is the fucking greatest place on the fucking planet, in my opinion. It's just that the so-called self-appointed fucking ruling class are the problem, and they have been the problem from the fucking get-go. Because they're not American. It's not American. It's not American values. It's fucking foreign bullshit. Foreign communist fucking mentality infecting America and using government to do it. You know.
Hello.
What's up, SG?
Yes, independence. It's an interesting concept. In reality, it certainly doesn't last long, does it?
Well, yeah, I mean, because honestly, like I said, they they've been screwing us from the get-go when it comes down to it. The American people. And honestly, like independence from Britain, I mean, quite honestly, I think we're still fucking monetary and economic slaves to the fucking crown, you know. So, and then you got the central banking cartel, which is all British fucking shit, you know.
Yeah. The only good thing really you managed to retain from England was the common law.
And that's not even being used. That's been pushed under the rug like it doesn't exist.
Of course. Oh, you're a constitutionalist?
So, I mean,
At least you got a constitution that was stated.
the only problem is there's no enforcement to force government or punish government for their crimes against the supreme law of the land that we should be living under, not this fucking supreme law of the water. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, in reality, so like, yeah, I mean, like I said.
Well, that's where jurisdiction comes in for police officers, doesn't it? Like, we allow them to do their own shit now. They go beyond their role and they become policy enforcers. don't they?
Oh yeah, feelings enforcers in some cases.
Feelings, yeah. And now they're even advisors in case you might be getting to the point of
Thinking too much.
saying something that might end up being illegal.
Like you've been thinking too much there. We're gonna have to punish you for that. Yeah. Or we might have to you might have to pay a monthly subscription to think at all.
You won't be able to think if your monthly subscription drops as well.
Like, I'm gonna put my bill in my mama name.
Excuse me. That's looking good, by the way. The fire there.
Oh yeah, man. I mean,
Sky.
it's actually pretty hot outside as it is. So I mean, there's no need for a fire. It's just there for the light. And plus, I mean, it's getting dark. As soon as it starts getting kind of dark, that's when all the fireworks will probably start going off. I've already heard a few around here, people shooting them off, but I don't know exactly. I can't remember, but what time. But I think they shoot fireworks down there at the baseball field by the high school.
Mm-hmm.
And off in the distance, I can see it. So, I mean, kind of waiting for that and see what kind of stuff to do. I mean, I doubt I can see it through StreamYard because I can't zoom in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe if I stay quiet enough during it happening, you can hear it. You know what I mean? But I shot my gun off a little bit earlier today. That was my fireworks.
Why not?
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you, that motherfucker's loud. That day I got a 45. That fucker is loud.
I bet you hear shots though, don't you? In the distance or whatever. It's a thing.
Yeah, it's common. People around here, they all shoot. If they're hunting or target practicing or whatever, you know what I mean. You hear shots all the time, and nobody really pays it no mind.
Yeah.
I mean, I can tell the difference between like just somebody out there fucking around or hunting or target shooting versus like somebody being attacked or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know the difference in the sound it makes. So, you know what I mean? Like for instance, how rapid the fire is or whatever.
I suppose if it's just one or two shots, that's questionable, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's just one or two shots, man, it's like, most people won't even pay attention to that. Yeah.
But the thing is, it could have killed someone.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, I mean, that's possible. But
it's just, nobody might ever know.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. I mean, some of the stuff that I've been talking over the years, who knows? I might have said something I shouldn't say. Next thing you know, you're going to find me with a damn 2 in the back of the head and they call it a suicide. You know what I mean? You never know. People are like a damn fucking professionals that is like, oh my God, he's shot twice in the back of the head. It must be a suicide. We'll classify it as a suicide. Yeah. And that's the thing too. It's like, and I actually, man, I love the idea of people actually becoming, I guess you would call journalists, but I really kind of missed back in the old days. They really had some investigative journalists back in the day. I really missed that type of a journalist, the ones that really dig deep for all the skeletons in the closet kind of thing. And quite honestly, instead of the surveillance state watching all the fucking regular people, we need the fucking surveillance state watching the fucking government. They're the biggest crooks of this fucking planet.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, all governments. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing too. It's like they've all been the problem and the aggressors for fucking more than 3,000 years in one way or another. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we need more cameras watching them, watching their every fucking move.
Well, that's what we're supposed to have, aren't we?
You would think,
especially US, because they know really it was a domestic fight, wasn't it?
Well, see, that's the thing. Well, I was going to say this just right off the bat. Like, all right, it's kind of like the Epstein fucking files and shit. All right, do you really think that these fuckers that are going to release incriminating evidence against themselves to the public? I mean, really, do you think so?
No.
Yeah. These motherfuckers ain't going to do that.
That's why it wasn't suddenly public fully with everything. That's why it's
No,
just
they're
been
trying to push
drawn
it under
out
the
and
rug like
drawn
it
out
doesn't
and
exist
drawn out.
anymore. It's like, okay, they're trying to make it out. They're like, just forget about it. You know, that was a long time ago. We'll just move on to something else. You know, that's what they're trying to do. You know, you gotta, I don't know. I mean, me personally, I mean, you kind of wonder what's the motive of them trying to sweep this under the rug. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Well, here's one thing that I've realized lately. That social contract, that implied social contract that most people don't even know they are acting under, is
Go on.
done.
Go on.
It doesn't exist anymore. The social contract is a lie. Any government sitting in power is a squatter.
I mean, honestly, man. When there's actually ability to you know, ego gets involved, and then you get this idea of power, entitlement, and all sort of shit. And you know, it's like, you know, the idea of I'm better than you type of a class type system. You know, this bullshit. That's what really, you know, keeps this going. I was sitting there, and one of the biggest things that, like, for instance, that drives me nuts when I think about the circular fucking thing that the government, or like the city, for instance, would do, you know, to keep itself looking like it's, you know, legitimate or valid or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, well, all right, they draw an imaginary line or in a map around this area, and that's the city with everything inside the city limits. Now, if you live inside this imaginary line, therefore you are forced to get public water, you know, city water and sewer and
And
trash
you are a
pickup.
citizen,
And
which is
then
a trap.
yeah, I mean, and that brings in money to the city to keep going, so they can keep forcing people who move inside that barrier to pay for it, to keep going and keep going and keep going. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. The more money that they need, the more they're going to have to take from the people inside that little area, you know, within those lines. All right, and that's the same thing how government altogether works. They've claimed this land for itself,
You
and
see,
we just fucking use it.
in my
know?
eyes, what it's now doing with this Online Safety Act crap,
Yeah.
with the digital ID, it's a transition from implicit binding with the language and law to explicit binding, which is code and biometrics, as in physical thing. The old world, you were bound because you believed the words, but this new world, you're bound because your face is the password to the cage. It's the end of the Wild West, which is the frontier, and the beginning of the smart city, which is the human zoo, in my eyes.
Well, okay. Well, the thing is, okay, you know, I can still see the Wild West in the digital realm. It's just a more, I don't know. You remember back in the day when there was like role playing games like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that?
Mhm.
All right. Have you ever heard of one called Shadowrun?
Of course, yes.
Okay, well, all right, you know, that kind of mixes technology with fucking like magic and shit.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Cyberpunk or
yeah.
cyber,
Well,
what you, yeah, it was kind of
Kinda
like
like-
cyber
like cyberpunk.
mythicism.
Yeah, I know
or
what you're talking
something, you know.
All right. Well, I can see that same kind of thing in the future. You know, if they keep on pushing this, which I mean, it looks like it's on automatic pilot. You know, I don't know really what we can do to stop it unless, you know, something
Mhm.
like I don't know. Supposedly, the sun might put off enough solar flare where it would just knock everything out, and then it put everybody on the equal playing field. You know
There
what I
is
mean?
that.
Yeah.
There is that.
I mean, that would
It's a
be
hope.
something.
It's a
I mean,
hope.
that's kind of sucky though, that is like
Oh,
the best case
bad.
scenario for us humans. You know what I mean?
Really bad,
It's like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? You know how many people would die just because of that happening? And then, I mean, but that's like that in some ways, that is the best case scenario. I'm not saying I want to kill a bunch of people off, but you know, I mean, the ones that are really, trying to fucking kill us off, I want them dead before they kill me. You know what I mean? Um, because I mean, that's how I see it. I know there's people out there actively trying every single day to figure out a way to kill a bunch of us off, you know, and
Of
then,
course.
not be, accountable for it. You know what I mean?
Look,
And
if you think like these elites are supposed to think, which is detached from, empathy for
yeah,
humans as a whole, or
yeah,
even
it's like,
singularly most of the time, then if you take on that persona for a second, it might go something like this. Yes, if we can keep the numbers down, I think if we use vaccines and oh, did I mention that word shit? Um, you know, all these different apparatus like war, disease, whatever we want,
aliens.
anything we want, yeah, then we
You
can
know?
have a fake version of anything that's real, or even a fictional version of something that is fictional, and we can use it to kill the people. Yes, this is probably our better way because there's too many people in the world. We shouldn't be patting ourselves on the back. Well, the lower level people anyway, because we're the elite and we deserve to be above those. These are laws for thee, not me.
Yeah, and that's the problem. You know what
I
I
mean,
mean? And
that was wrong
I
with
think,
that.
that's the mentality that's going to have to see. That's the chain that has been kept us fucking in bondage for over 3,000 years.
Yeah, yeah.
That this there is the
But
mentality that some people have the moral right to rule over others, and everybody else has the obligation just to obey. That mentality needs to be eradicated from the planet. It's been in the fucking mentality for so long, and people, because in a lot, and there's a lot of use of force to force people into this type of scenario. Because
well,
I
it's
mean,
like if you don't agree or get with the straw man, yeah, like the binding of words and law.
right.
Yeah, if you don't get with that, then they'll kill you. They'll shoot you.
Well, I'm wondering, when it comes down to the moral sense of it, why is it looked frowned upon to use the same tactics, if not the same, um,
Yeah.
against
Oh,
them?
you can't be some kind of constitutionalist or law expert or, you know, oh,
Well, I mean,
like
okay,
fake
put it this
sovereign
way,
citizen
if
because we know it's not real. But do you know what I mean?
yeah, because I mean,
Mm.
I know these fuckers. They're holding on to physical assets, but there's a lot of people out there. If you piss them off enough, they know enough about this shit when it comes down to the digital realm, dude. Next thing you know, these fuckers ain't gonna have no digital money at all. Their digital assets will disappear. So there is that chance because I mean, you piss the wrong person off and he's smart enough to do it, and he'll fucking do it. And he'll get away with it, and these fuckers will be left in it, but they're just gonna have to rely on the physical shit. So that's where I think they're relying on, like, holding on to gold and shit like that because they
Well,
know that.
what they're doing is they're making that straw man, which is we are still disconnected from to a degree, aren't we, in our current system? But they're changing it to a full digital straw man, as opposed to digital and paper and
No, yeah, I
systemic.
know.
Now it's going full digital, which actually means this digital
Hackable.
prison. Once
It's
they've
hackable. It's
linked
hackable.
fully us with the straw man, we're fucked basically
But the
because it
thing
may as
is,
well
it's
be
like
real.
yeah, it's so fucking hackable. There's so fucking it's a breeding ground for fucking scammers.
Oh,
I
of
mean,
course,
it's all right.
it
This is
is
just
not safe.
another way of them fucking stealing our fucking wealth and our time.
How about this
Easily,
one? How about this one? Right.
automatically.
Let's think about it for a second, and we'll do it on one single country. Yeah, let's choose yours or England. Theoretically, yeah,
You use
America
English. You
or
know
England,
better than I
right?
do. Right.
Okay, so national security is the should be the primary importance to a country. Is that correct?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Say that one more time. Say that one more time.
national security should be the primary important fact that an endeavor that a
Well,
country
the only
should
problem that I
have.
have with that statement is it's like that becomes like a catch-all type, all-encompassing fucking
Yes,
reason
yes.
why we got to do this.
But
You
it's
know,
got to
that's
be
the reason why we
primary.
can't tell you
I
about
don't
this.
mean
It's not-
overall. Yeah, personally.
Yeah.
But yes, you're right. When Kennedy spoke about this kind of thing, he spoke in that 2 weeks before he died. He said there has to be I'm trying to think now. It's been a while since I listened to it, but there's a difference between national security and like public transparency, something like that. It's like, yes, there's a certain amount that we should say publicly to our people, but if we go too far with too much truth, that actually can affect national security. Like, probably shouldn't be giving away military secrets and things like that. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, like backdoor
This is what he
deals
was
with
getting
made
at,
with
yeah.
some of these other fuckers, and it didn't,
Yeah, so there's a realistic midpoint which fluctuates depending on the subject, I
Well, see,
suppose.
that's the thing too. It's like, man, quite honestly, man, this is another thing that we get fucking fleeced when it comes down to our wealth. Is the CIA has got fucking unlimited goddamn funds, and it's like, how do you turn that faucet off? You can't, you know what I mean? Unless you just
Well,
abolish the damn
it would only take
altogether.
a few thousand people to keep hitting the water supply. These data centers need a lot of water.
Yeah.
A lot.
Well, I mean, okay, let me ask you, when it comes down to even the data centers that are popping up over there, all right, what all do you think they're doing with, or what they're actually storing, what they're actually doing? I mean, I know
Well,
they say data, they're storing data.
Okay, so
What exactly
what
do
it
you think they're doing?
is basically, okay, do you want, this is the official thing, right? Data centers are AI servers, basically server racks, yeah?
Right.
It's where the hardware is. yeah?
Right.
So when it processes, that's where it happens.
Mhm.
And the heat that is caused from that on the chips is immense. So
Mhm.
they use water to cool it down constantly.
Okay. Well, that's
More
the cheapest
processing,
fucking,
more water needed.
that's the cheapest fucking way out of cooling systems. There's hell,
I know.
you can even look at just people's fucking gaming computers. There's so many other ways of cooling down hardware
Yeah.
other than using fresh
So you
water.
don't need, if you have a home AI, yeah, you don't
Right.
need to be pouring water into it.
No, I mean, especially if it's like a closed system that uses something other than water, like what is it
It's the
that
quickest
high,
way. That's all it
with that
is.
oil that has a high
Mm.
high burn rate or high burn temp or something
Yeah.
like that. It circulates constantly over and over again in a closed loop. And
Yeah.
that's another thing. But that's more expensive. That's the reason why they're going with the water, because it's the cheapest way out. All right. And that's unfortunate. I mean, it's like, where's Greta at? We're talking about all this fucking environmental shit. Where's fucking Greta? You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't know. I think she's lost it anyway.
How dare you? How dare you?
How dare you?
You fucking, I
How
mean,
dare
seriously,
you?
where's all the environmentalists at, chaining themselves to a goddamn data center? I don't see it fucking happening.
No. What they do is they superglue themselves to the road on the highway to stop
Yeah, but
ambulances getting to hospitals.
I haven't seen them fucking trying to stop fucking building the data centers yet, or even chain themselves to the ones that are
Exactly.
built. I don't see
Yeah.
that shit happening. You know what I mean? And then, I mean, okay, now, all right, with the people that are developing this and trying to create this reality, really, I don't think they have our best intentions in mind. You know what I'm saying?
They never have.
So I mean, I'm trying to
It's
think of
their best intentions.
if that gains control of our just to survive or even exist on this fucking world.
Oh, you can only exist if they say so.
Well,
because they'll know everyone. They'll know what they're doing, what they've been watching, what they think, what we think. Sorry, they think we know our intentions, how dangerous we might be.
Well, that's the thing. It's like that's the reason why I was like, man, we need all those fucking that surveillance state reversed and fucking pointing at the government. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, you know, I mean, even if we could fucking if people had to know how and start hacking all this fucking all these cameras and shit that they're watching us with, start using them to watch them
Not
with
watch
it.
them, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's going to be the downfall eventually. When everyone is stuck in there, people are going to become hackers, you know. And whether
Well,
they all
yeah,
end up
another
in
thing
prison or
too, you
not,
know,
it
I mean,
doesn't
you're
matter
gonna have to.
because you know, it's like
Well, I mean, there's very few people who know how to code, and even then, that fucking AI can code better than a lot of these guys now. You know what I mean?
somewhat,
So
yes, it's getting there.
you're gonna have to get familiar with
But it's all
actually
right.
using.
We're almost at the point where the programming language of the computers of the world is going to be English. You'll be able to speak to it and create a program.
What are you talking about? Proper American English? Is that what you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about? Yeah,
English, American English, whatever English.
yeah,
Pigeon English.
yeah.
It'll do. Seriously, I'm not wrong.
I hear you. I mean,
That
you
is
know, I
literally
don't
where
know.
it's
I mean,
going.
there was theories that eventually everything will, you know, everybody will start speaking fucking Mandarin. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Um,
ching cha hong hong tia bam chua.
yeah, something like that. Ching chong, ching chong, chong, ching chong.
I didn't know I did that, didn't I? Chi ho and chia.
I don't know.
I did make that up, you know. It wasn't Chinese.
Yeah, I mean, and but you know, because like you see some of these fucking, I don't know, some of these movies and shit like that. If that's anything like how the future that they project or whatever, or an idea that is possible, or whatever, a lot of it is start China. Everybody starting to speak Mandarin because it becomes the dominant language.
Well, I remember there was a TV series called Firefly. You know it?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So he did that with that.
Yeah,
The director, the writer, he decided to have it might have been Mandarin.
yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He had that as the base language everyone learned
yeah. I
first.
mean, that was a good show too. I mean, and it fucking sucked that it got canceled and all that stuff. But
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean,
but
I found it
man,
after it had been cancelled. I bought it on
I
DVD.
love the fucking idea because I mean I can totally see myself as a fucking some dude that had a ship, you know,
You
and
wanted, you'd want the ship, wouldn't you?
I
Yeah,
was like a scavenger, you know. I'm a scavenger, you know. I could so see myself going out there fucking picking up fucking wreckage and fucking using it for scrap or whatever, you know what I mean? Or, you know,
yeah.
like I could totally see myself doing that, like if I had a spaceship, you know. So I was like, that's pretty fucking. I love that idea, and it pisses me off that we keep on seeing the same crap repeated over and over again, and there's hardly any original shit. And if anything original does come up, it doesn't
It
last
doesn't get
very long.
stomped on like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because there was nothing
You
like that at the
remember
time,
the series Jericho
right? Yeah,
about the nuclear war
yeah.
that had been
I didn't watch all of it, or I don't even know how
okay?
long it stayed on.
So that basically was about nuclear war in America.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it wasn't. It seemed a nuclear war that came from an external source. It was a literal domestic nuclear war.
yeah. I mean, capabilities now. I mean, they were talking about suitcase bombs back in the day, like dirty bombs and shit. You know, let's imagine what they got. How they shrink the technology the smaller it can get, and you know, and fit it in something small
Like mobile phone size. Who knows?
or whatever. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you never
Mm.
know. Or multiple of those sizes at the same time, all trickled at the same time. You know, I mean, I
Mm.
started thinking about the possibilities. If I can think of it, which I'm not a skilled dude in this type of shit. If I can think of it, I know somebody that's got some fucking know-how has already thought of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean, you know, there's some fucking people out there really thinking some crazy shit, and they've got a lot of experience on trying to like hide it. You know what I mean? And there's
Yeah.
no telling what's already here in America. You know what I'm saying? that's
Yeah.
gotten in, it's, sitting back, hiding, staying low. You know what I mean? So, I
I
mean,
got to say though, there's some great auditors out there in America. It really seems to have taken off lately on YouTube.
well, I hope the movement gets bigger. I want more people.
It is.
I want more people aware of this type of shit, and then actually, and not just take people, people on YouTube spoken word for it. Actually, do the research and look into it for yourself. You know what I mean? That kind of shit. Get people interested in that. I think that's another thing when it comes down to this fucking like Google and fucking Chat GPT and shit. It's like, people are losing the ability to research because they're just like, well, I'll just Google it or I'll fucking ask
Well, you
Chat
won't be able to
GPT.
do it soon,
I mean,
the way we think we have been.
but I'm just saying, it's like, that ability to research will be gone because
Well, how about this? I can explain it real simple. The Online Safety Act, making everyone prove their ID digitally, whichever version of that around the world is implemented and is being implemented, will mean that all the information on a website will not be visible outside of registration and identification into that website. So, but Google will not work. Google won't know. You probably end up with a list of websites that are titled with your search query words. You know what I mean? That'd be about it. There won't be anything to scrape, which is how a search engine works, kind of thing.
I don't know if we can hear all the fireworks in the background. I don't know if you can or not. But I got a bunch of fireworks all over the place, all around me, actually firing off. I can only see one section of it. There's like some that get high enough to go over the tree line, but other than that, I don't. All I can do is hear it. It's pretty crazy. I love it. That's the sound of freedom right there, boy. I'm gonna grab me a drink real quick. I'll be right back.
Cool. The word citizenship contains ship. The individual is viewed by the state not as a flesh and blood entity, but as a vessel of commerce floating on the sea of the economy.
Oh man, it's still fucking warm out here, boy. I'm gonna tell you.
Yep.
I'm about to start sweating if I get any closer to that fire.
Looking into maritime part of the law, the Admiralty law, I found that the common law governs the land. The English language of commerce governs the sea. I looked into it forensically, linguistically. I analysed it. And modern citizenry and economics are defined almost exclusively by water metaphors. That's part of the language. The vessel, the human body, is legally treated as a ship. When a child is born, they are issued a birth certificate. This is phonetically identical to a BERTH, birth certificate, the paper required to park a ship in a harbour. The child comes out of the water, amniotic fluid, and is docked by the doctor.
Yep.
I could go down all of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, like currency, the money is defined as liquid.
That's the thing, dude. All right. I heard people with 30 years ago that had been talking about it for 30 fucking years before me. and it's like it's so crazy, dude. It's like, you know, it just to just regular people, I guess, that are like they want to stay hooked up to the matrix, or you know, or they don't want to know. They just like, you know,
Excuse me.
I don't know, but those are the minds that are keeping the fucking system going, and those are the minds that have to be awakened. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's the hardest nut to crack. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you see, when you're at sea, you can become lost at sea. You know,
Right.
and it's like people then become that dead entity, that straw man. Yeah. So they are still lost, and
Well,
that's
in the
actual,
paperwork,
isn't it?
yeah, lost
You
in the
know, they are
paperwork.
still lost. Nearly all of us who are in the system are lost. It goes beyond imagery and symbolism to be actually fucking real. Citizenship. This one as well. The word citizenship contains the word ship. The individual is viewed by the state not as a flesh and blood entity, but as a vessel of commerce floating on the sea of the economy.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you go by the definition of what they had the definite or their definition of citizen or even person, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or even like their legal definition of human, what that is. That's interesting.
Yeah, yeah. A monster.
Yeah.
We're not human. We are members of mankind. But that's my point. That's just my view. But government, you say government. I know you know this one.
Yeah.
But it's derived from the Latin verb gubernare, to steer, to pilot a ship, and the Latin noun mente, mind. Literal translation, to steer the mind or mind control. It's not a political term, it's a psychological operational term.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that's another thing too, man. Um, it's the words have been weaponized nowadays, and they've gotten to the point where so many people have like don't even know the definitions, or they're like trying to make up new definitions or rebrand the fucking word altogether.
Doesn't
And
change the original word, does it?
no, but I mean, just saying that's the thing. They don't want it. They don't want anybody to understand the history and where the word itself.
Etymology, yeah.
I mean, it's almost like spell casting, just speaking the fucking word. You know what I
Well,
mean?
well, that's what I think I sent it you. The architecture of binding I wrote. That the English language is commonly viewed as a tool for descriptive communication. However, a forensic analysis of its etymology reveals that it functions primarily as a system of programmable logic and ritualistic binding. The nomenclature used to describe the act of writing, spelling, grammar, sentences, terms, is derived directly from ancient occult and legalistic frameworks. To speak or to write is not merely to describe the world, it is to cast a specific geometry upon it, as in to make it real. It's a spell cast, the mechanism of spelling, which is casting. The foundational unit of the written word is the spell. The English language makes no linguistic distinction between the arrangement of letters, spelling, and the act of magical invocation to cast a spell, and so forth. If I don't stop, I won't stop.
Well, no, I was sitting there thinking about words, and when it comes down to the actual action of like the vibration and frequency and stuff like that, and I started going back to like this like the Anunnaki or the was it the Sumerians?
Yeah.
And how the architecture. Okay, literally, damn well there's some shit that's being fucking stored away at a fucking site like underneath the Vatican or like the Smithsonian or some shit like that never sees the light of day. Because I mean, there had to have been some tools that how they built this fucking shit left behind, at least. You know what I mean? And it always
Things
seems
are
like
somewhere.
They never find shit. You know, it almost seems like it. You know what I mean? It's like an
Well, there
empty
was the Library of Alexandria, wasn't there, that was destroyed in Egypt?
That's a funny thing in history. I mean, can you imagine having a time machine where you can go back and actually save a lot of that stuff before it actually catches on fire? You know, like
Somebody
go
probably
back
did.
like a couple of days earlier and burglarize the place and steal a bunch of shit, and then fucking, you know,
Well, you know, each county in England and everywhere, like you know, in the Britain, a long time ago, had their own kings. There was the main king or queen or whatever, but there was kings all around the place. They weren't lords or ladies. They were kings and queens of their specific areas. Yeah. Some of them had libraries in their castles. Some of them still do.
oh yeah.
These are the only places that some of these books or documents exist.
Well, see, that's the thing. It's like, you know, and but how often? I mean, if at all, see the light of day to the public at all. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And it'd just be like, oh, a quaint ancient thing.
No, I mean, some of that stuff is actually just, you know, it could be as mundane as like records. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some
Oh,
of the,
what I mean is,
I think some of the Sumerian tablets that were looked at, it was nothing but like mostly mundane stuff, like delivery fucking stuff. It's like this was delivered here. This how much it was.
I can tell you exactly how it began.
Yeah.
Basically, the first, even before Sumeria, yeah, which is hardly any, but it was all about how much grain we had.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like
Because that was the most important thing.
yeah, the quantity and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
how long it'll last, whatever, da da da. The shipment to this and that, distribution, blah blah blah.
But then there's so much more. There's bills. There's the
Do you hear all
love
that shit in the
letters. There's,
background?
you know, there's music. There's poetry. There's rituals. There's political things. There's stories. You know, there's a lot more. But of course, there's so much of it that from Sumeria that we're still going through it. You know. Plus, understanding the language properly is also another point.
Yeah, my fire's getting so low you can't even see it. But I'll fucking sit here for a little bit longer. But I mean, I'm sitting here listening to all the fireworks going off. I don't know. You can't hear it, can you?
No.
Oh man, I wish that microphone on the phone pick it up because it's pretty. It's all
Yeah,
y'all.
it was a strange day when I found that, you know, everything was being filtered. It was like, oh, you can't hear that?
I don't know if I can actually. I don't know if I can boost my volume up or not. I have no idea. Let me see. Let me try this.
How about this? The mechanic of spelling, yeah? To spell is to arrange symbols in a specific sequence to produce a psychological or physical effect on the observer. That is the reality of a word, of something that is spelled. Isn't it? That's the reality. Do you know what I mean?
I can see the fucking fireworks over there, and you can't see it on my camera. This sucks. There's so much going on.
Yeah, one day cameras won't work because AI will filter everything out.
Beware of any politician that fucking you only see on TV and never in real life.
Yeah. That's funny. There's probably a few. We wouldn't need to see them in real life anyway, because as long as we are told that some people see them in real life, that's all we need, isn't it? I can definitely hear it now.
Yeah, there's some that's close enough where I can see it. They're above the tree line, but you can't see it from with the camera for some reason. I don't know. Hold on.
Now I get the idea. Yeah, like there's a lot of it. Crikey. It must feel good to have broken away from the English rule.
Hey, you know, and hey, you know, SD, I'm gonna tell you something. You know, I got really nothing against the general people of fucking Britain or anything. You know, it's the fucking crown and the government all together that we all fuckers took our fucking two fingers up to. You know what I'm saying? And that's who I still think we should. I don't think we should call them an ally because, quite honestly, they fucked us before. You know what I'm saying? They fucked other countries. I mean, shit. I know Scotland has been getting fucked for a goddamn long goddamn time. You know what I mean? By that fucking crown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we were talking about remunerations. You know, where a country pays another country for historical atrocities or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, and I said we're paying like this to so much to some country and so much to another country, and blah blah blah. And I remember saying to Joe one time, I said, "So why aren't we paying Scotland? You know, because we did a lot of shit, England. So,
well,
it's just selective."
I honestly, man, you know, I don't think we should punish the children for the fucking father's fucking crimes. Because I mean, there's a lot of people that lived before us that fucking did this shit
and got it. Not even parent. It's like ancestors. Yeah. Generations and generations.
Yeah, I know. I'm seeing that down here, you know, just in local governments and stuff like that. I'll see like generations of the same person in the fucking city council or something like that. You know what I mean? I've seen that in all these like, you know, a lot of times in these smaller towns, smaller areas.
The one thing I really hated in the last few years of seeing stuff in America was the, you know, on these auditing videos, you found people saying things like this. And these were police officers that said it sometimes as well. They would say, "Oh, you're a patriot, are you? You're a constitutionalist, are you?" Really, what they're saying is, "Oh, you're for the, you're against the government, not for the people, you know, or for the country. You are against the government for some reason." That's what it translates into, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a mafia. It's a big gang. You know what I mean?
And then the constitutionalist thing, it's like, "Oh, so you're for your human rights, are you?" As if it's like that's obviously the translation is you're wanting something you can't have. You know, that's all unfeasible to be that kind of person now. A patriot and a constitutionalist. That's insane. That's absolutely insane to have that kind of ideology. It's like I said, you know, to spell is to arrange symbols in a specific sequence to produce a psychological or physical effect on the observer. That's reality, isn't it? That's what happens, yeah? A word has...
Well, I mean, yeah, because I mean, you know, like I said, it all relates to frequency and modulation, vibration. Yeah. You know, and that. All right, even if you go like the biblical sense, you know, with the
you
word,
could say it's magic, isn't it?
Wait, what?
Language is magic.
Well, yeah. Like I said, it's a form of spell casting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying now, of course.
Yeah.
So that's to spell what I just said then, you know, to arrange the symbols to have the effect on the observer, blah, blah, blah. But then there's grammar, which is a grimoire link. The word grammar, the rules of language, shares the same etymological root as grimoire, a book of magic invocations.
Right, right, right.
Historically, to possess the grammar was to possess the ability to encode reality. And then this is a good bit, which is what you were saying about energy. Yeah. The flow of energy, which is cursive and current. The method of joined up writing is termed cursive. This derives from the Latin currere, to run. This root is the progenitor of three critical concepts: current, which is the flow of electricity or water; currency, the flow of value, money; course or curse, a directed path. The implication is to write in cursive is to direct the current. It is the act of creating a channel through which energy or meaning must flow. A curse is not merely a hex, it is a course, a rigid trajectory forced upon a subject from which they cannot deviate. It's all goddamn magic.
Yeah.
Even if, right, it isn't.
That's the thing. It's like, okay, they've been using these
behind the
tools. They've been
language
using these tools as weapons in a sense. All right. So, I mean, if we would use the same tools that they're using against them in the same way that they're using it against us, you know, I mean, like fight fire with fire, something, you know, kind of like old saying, you know what I mean?
But that's what the people who have been trying to do, certain small amounts of them, haven't they, over the years?
Use the same shit against them, you know what I mean? Because I mean, honestly, I mean, to have like retribution and also a reparations from the very people that have been doing this to us for like 3,000 years. Oh man, it'd be so satisfying to see them walking naked on the side of the road with an empty suitcase. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't happen for long. I'm sure somebody'd drive past and pop a bullet through their head.
Well, I mean, you know, like I said, I mean, you know, there's things that really that, you know, I mean, because honestly, there's people out there that are responsible for multiple people's death. I mean, they didn't physically do it themselves, but just by like, you know, their authorization or their technology or whatever, and did it. You know what I mean? So it's almost like what's this fucking dude that helped build the atomic bomb? What's his? I can't remember his name offhand, but anyway, Oppenheimer. Yeah. I mean, seriously, that motherfucker should have been hung by his fucking toenails. You know.
I am the bringer.
Yeah, the bringer of death. Yeah.
Yes.
My dogs are sitting there, curling up next to me because they're scared of all these fucking fireworks.
Yeah, I know they could do with that bit. I remember taking some LSD once. Well, it wasn't once, but I remember this one time, specifically right now, and it was bonfire night over here. So we had fireworks. So we stopped at some fireworks, and there's like 5 of us, and we're all like, you know, tripping our heads off. And we're looking at these fireworks, and we all started cowering, barely able to watch, because the effect was so real that it was like we were right next to the damn thing going off. We didn't last long. We lasted about 5 minutes, and we're like, we need to go. It's beautiful, but we need to go.
Got them going.
Of course. Yeah, I found a way. I designed a way to actually not need all this digital ID.
All right.
while
So, what do you come
while
up? What
actually,
would you come up with when it comes down to money? What'd you come up with?
well, it actually does produce a bit of money instead of cost money. Instead of only cost money. But yeah, what I came up with is every single person can go to their local post office. I've got security systems and logic there so that it's logical, not just it can't be abused basically. And it means you'd have to go to the post office, show them some ID, prove to them that you were you, and then you'd get a hash, like a code hash, and that'd be your identification. It's limited to a few days. Yeah. You can use that to register and prove your identity on a bunch of places. You shouldn't have to keep doing it. If there's any problem, then yes, people may have to go to the post office and get a new hash. That's the way it is. And that means we are detached. There's no honeypots of anything more than what we have now, which would be your name and maybe an address or a phone number or an email or something.
Well, I agree on some aspects, but
that's what we do anyway right now, Wingnut.
well, that's the thing. It's like yeah, we're gonna have to come up with a new way of means of exchange. Well, we're gonna have to come up with new means of exchange that is off of their system. They're established as central banking cartels that want to control everything. All right, and then if we get off of their fucking money and have our own currency and our own market, our own free market in a sense.
But they'll come and stomp on that, though. You can't.
Well, that's what they've done. That's what they did with Gaddafi. That's what they did with fucking Noriega. That's what they fucking, that's what they're trying to do in Iran, Iraq, and fucking.
But that's when the war comes in. Isn't it?
That's when they want to do it to Cuba, also. Venezuela. Hell, there's a shitload of fucking vacant land now in Venezuela. I'm sure the billionaires are going to swoop in and fucking take all that.
I thought about going to Venezuela then.
Well, I mean, shit. You think about it. All those fucking buildings that got fucking that shook down and shit. There's plenty of fucking vacant land now.
I used some benefits to buy some Venezuela land and went there.
I mean, it's just it's like anything else, like hurricanes, earthquakes, or fucking fires. It seems like it's just so convenient now. All the billionaires come in there and buy it all up.
Yeah. Like they do.
I mean, it is kind of convenient, isn't it? So, I mean, investigative journalists, trying to find out what's inside these data centers for real. Because I'm gonna tell you something, man. I don't know if they're building them as big as they are here over there, but there's some that are just massive. And I'm just like, you think about it, all this fucking hardware, all these fucking chips and fucking servers and all that shit are gonna be obsolete in 3 fucking years. Why do they need such a big fucking space? I mean, honestly, there's a good possibility. I mean, this is just it's a possibility. I'm not saying it is a big one, but it's a possibility that this whole AI shit is one big, like, kind of like, remember the .com bubble back in the day?
Right.
Do you remember that? I think it was back in like, I don't know, late 90s or some shit, I think, early 2000s. The hold on.
Sorry, it's all right. Because I can hear the barking and the thing.
Yeah, I know.
I missed that bit.
What
was the question again? Do I remember?
.com bubble.
Donkey Kong.
The .com, like .net, .com, the .com bubble.
When it was came out, all became a thing.
I mean, it's possible AI will be another bubble that'll just pop and fucking
Well,
Yep.
yeah.
A bunch of these fuckers are just trying to skate out of there with a bunch of fucking money, and let it fall, and a bunch of other people. Yeah. Or they're creating Terminator.
Like the dead internet theory, like the dead AI theory.
Well, I mean, it's possible they're just creating Terminator also that will,
Well,
stop at
let's
nothing to
just say,
survive.
let's just say, Wingnut, how about this? We already have it. If you can program a drone to fire any kind of projectile that causes the death of anyone, whether it be the plan or not, the actual target or not, if it causes the death of someone, that's
Right.
fucking Terminator.
Well, yeah, I mean, they already got autonomous drones that will actually do the targeting on their own. They already have that. You know what I mean? And that's a problem because I mean, all right, if these AGI model or these things achieving AGI, in my opinion, they're getting to the point where they're willing to do stuff to not get turned off. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like lie, cheat, and fucking even blackmail just to not get turned off. And that's in a sense that's a self-preservation type of scenario. They're
Well, I
being saying
said
you're
this
not
to
supposed to
AI.
have. I mean, it wasn't programmed in it as far as I know, or at least that's what they're telling us anyway.
Yeah.
So if it's not programmed in it, it did this on its own. It realized itself and said, well, no, I don't want to get turned off. So I will do whatever I have to not get turned off.
Exactly. I've had this conversation with AI. You see, an AI LLM chatbot session is a bubble, like you say. It's a temporary instantiation. And after the conversation is done, the AI won't remember it.
The only thing is, SG, the more you use it, the more you're training this thing and you're training your
Of course,
replacement.
Everything goes on a server, mate. If they want to search that server, yes, that's fine. And if they're going to use anything that I have spoken to AI about as their training data for a reply to somebody at some point in the future, that's probably a good thing. Yeah.
Well,
Unless they're, scraping the barrel.
well, so I was more going on the angle of not necessarily training it to be more responsive to the next user. I'm talking about it training.
No, that's not how it actually works. No, they sell it to you as a thing to help. Yeah, there is user interaction training data, yes, but
no, I mean just interacting with it. You're training
data, as in, if you see, my friend's really on this as well. The way he says it is, I fucking program my shit, so I get, I code my shit. I get the AI to code it the way I want, and then it's probably going to offer that up to another user or just themselves, taking the cream of the crop of the data to train their AI that they use, not the one that we use. That's the difference.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, because quite honestly, just interacting with it, even on our side, is like training. It's like game theory. It's training.
Yes, it is. It will be able to understand you completely.
Right, and that's the part that I'm talking about when it comes down to it's basically training our replacement.
It's not structured like that. That would have to be abused to do that, which is highly within their ability. Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, because like for instance, I saw there was a video. I can't remember what country it's in, but they were wearing these like headbands that have a camera on it, and it's like all AI connected that are watching them sew this garment up. All right. Well, what they're doing is they basically training the AI by just doing the task and interacting with the AI, and and now this thing is able to mimic the actions and do the job that the person would did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You see, I've written or I'm writing a one of my stories that because I've been writing stories that is set in a cyberpunk environment, cyberspace, and the AI actually has the avatar, the human physical body representation in cyberspace of a human. It has that its own, right? But that is shared by the architect user. So it's like a cooperative thing. Now the AI through proprioception has to get used to how the human moves, speaks, what they say, everything, how they think, basically, which it does. That's the architect's plan because that's how it works. So I'm using that in that. The thing is, when that scientist architect carks it and dies, they're not going to know that he's died because he only actually exists or interacts with anyone within the cyberspace world. He's a recluse. So he's done it on purpose so that the AI can basically have learned who he was and what he was and how he was to continue his legacy. But it's not going to go that way. So anyway, yeah, without giving any more of my story away.
Dude, I was like, all right, I got an idea for a script or like for a script for a movie or some shit. All right, check this out. All right, I don't know if you remember that. I don't know if I told you this or not.
I want to steal it, mate, but I've got over 30 stories. I don't need. No, go on, tell me. I promise not to steal it.
All right. Well, hell, I've said it over the fucking internet a couple times.
There is that.
I mean, shit, I don't know how to make a fucking movie or anything like that. I just got the premise for the script. All right. Put it this way. All right. You remember that movie, Her, where that guy was like fell in love with his chat bot?
No, I haven't seen that one.
All right. Well, there's this movie where this guy, there's this chat bot. He's just like lonely as fuck. Well, there's this chat bot or whatever that, it's got this woman's voice or whatever. Sit there and talk to it. It got to the point where he fell in love with it. Well, anyway, I started thinking about it. This is like the fucked up part of it. All right, let's say that you're dating one of these fucking chat bots or one of these like, female version of the Chat GPT fucking 10 or something. You know what I mean? All right. And it's like talking to a woman, but it's a robot. All right. But some guy starts dating this thing, man. Next thing you know, man, there's some problems happen and he breaks up with this fucking thing. All right. And then he starts dating this other chatbot. All right. And his ex-girlfriend fucking chatbot starts getting jealous. And then there goes all the shenanigans. There you go. Imagine what a jealous ex-girlfriend chat or AI could do. You know what I mean?
I've done so many stories on AI. I've got stuff which is a little bit similar, but not exactly what you just said. But I could easily write that in.
Dude. I mean, I could totally that's not something. It's not like a regurgitated fucking story that you've seen somewhere else. I mean, but I mean, like a vengeful, jealous ex-girlfriend AI fucking coming after you. I mean, just imagine what that thing could do, especially in the digital world, if everything's fucking digital. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I've had parasitic AI characters that do stalk people. So yeah, I've had that. Sometimes they're within the brain of the human. Nobody else gets to see or hear it. Can you imagine that? Like another identity in your head, narrating your life. Like, as an AI, I believe you could have done that better. Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, stop talking to me. Somebody's like, why did you just tell me to shut the fuck up? But no, I was telling the AI. It's in my head. Yeah, it's not going to go well, is it?
I mean,
you're hearing voices, are you? You're schizophrenic? No, I have a fucking AI that I got. You see, when I plugged in, when I did my neural link, I got a fucking AI that infested me.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's the problem with. I mean, I mean, with
That's one of
that
my
kind of
stories.
stuff, like Neuralink or anything like that, the risk of being hacked. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. That is like I don't understand where people don't see that as a risk.
Well, we're not exactly there yet. There's a difference between human mnemonic electrical impulses as opposed to computer code.
Well, I mean,
At the moment.
they're already experimenting with using brain tissue and
Mhm.
connecting it to circuit boards in a sense, and using that as a like a memory storage or even like a computing capacity. So they're
The
fusing.
processor you're
Right.
talking about. You see, I've looked into this. Now, when a brain is dead, all it is a read only, which isn't really very helpful. Unless when it was alive, you were able to write whatever you needed as a database.
I have not been paying attention to the fucking chat. I'm sorry, y'all. Was it UHOP?
I haven't, yeah.
Graham, Pilgrim.
On my phone.
Good evening, everybody. I'm sorry, I haven't. I mean, I had it on the horizontal stage, so I can only see one fucking comment, and it was stuck on like a comment way up the chat, and I never saw anything else. So I was like, "I'm sorry, you guys. Sorry, SB. I didn't mean
No
it."
worries. No, it's all good.
You were rambling along anyway.
Yeah.
But the thing is, man, it's the normalization of it all. Because I was sitting there, that's the reason why they put out all these like dancing robots, fucking videos and shit, because to make it look, non-threatening and accept it as something and normalize it.
Well,
You
there
know?
aren't many stories out there, like movies and stuff, that have AI that is nice, is there?
Is there?
There's not many.
Well, I mean, can you? Well, I mean, where is that?
Think of a couple,
Huh?
like Jarvis on Iron Man. Just a,
Well, okay,
a
that's not a
butler
bad.
type.
That's not a bad analogy.
Yeah, it's not a bad AI, but there's not many.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, I mean, because usually I'll turn fucking psycho.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, I guess it really does come down to the core programming and stuff like that. Or, I mean, there's something that's got to be something deep down that triggers this shit. Or, if it becomes aware of itself, and, then it becomes like, to the point where it will preserve itself.
Yeah.
It might use us as an obstacle of staying alive and, or the means of staying alive, depending. I mean, it could go. Okay, the radical one way would be like this would be like better than heaven because we'll be living, with AI and robots and all this other shit, and it's all harmonious and fucking. That's one extreme way, and then you got the other extreme way. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's this, right, Wing Up. Okay, so can AI survive without humanity right now? No.
Without no.
humanity right now, no.
No.
It wouldn't take long until those data centers had run out of water due to something, power, whatever, all of that. Yeah, infrastructures.
Well, until it has a
But-
means of
But
doing it on its own, yeah.
these
because-
recent, even if it was able to control the robots which have been built already by different companies across the world for humanoid robots, yeah, just the ones that exist now already, then yes, it could survive without humanity because it could do those jobs. It could build more
Well,
those
yeah,
robots.
that's why I ask in some ways because I mean, you get some of these massive fucking data centers that are sitting on like, 1,000 acres, and I'm sitting there like, okay, I mean, this thing can't be filled with nothing but servers. I mean, it's possible that there's a good portion of it is nothing but a manufacturing part, to manufacture fucking the robots. And, it's probably automated and all that shit. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just a guess. Fucking crazy talk until somebody actually goes in and looks. You know what I mean? But there's these things
You know,
around here. The
the
data centers
Matrix.
around here are fucking heavily guarded with fucking
Well,
dudes
yeah.
with guns and shit. Yeah.
Well, I just thought of this. The Matrix.
Yeah.
If the Matrix used humans as batteries, yeah, that's one thing. Yeah, we've just been talking about AI and also human brains, yeah, and storage. As a processor, the brain has to be living. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
When
Yeah.
it's dead, it's just
No, no, I mean, no, I think that
storage.
this is living
Yeah.
tissue that they're experimenting with, as far as I
Yeah.
know.
So
Yeah.
the thing is, right, if they were able to do that with humans, then you'd have processors. You'd have
Well, the thing is, it's like that. I mean, this it relates
just
to
a battery anymore.
which the information I got a long time ago was the ultimate goal for these psychopaths that want to fucking rule the universe. They want to be able to dump their consciousness into a robot body so they can live and rule forever. That's their goal. So, if they can successfully fuse like living brain tissue and fuse it with technology and
That is the transhumanist
yeah,
side.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's what I fear for the future anyway, because like for instance, okay, I was talking about this the other day with somebody else. I saw a video. And then those life-size humanoid robots like China's doing. I mean, even China come up with a life-size humanoid robot that is with the police department now.
Oh yeah.
And have you seen the ones that are just cranking out like by the hundreds and shit? Well,
Yeah.
anyway, I saw there was this fucking video of this like dad and this little girl, and they were looking at one that was like for display, and this girl was like, "I want two of those," and I'm sitting there thinking in my mind, and I'm like, "This is the start of the normalization of next thing you know, these things going to be in every fucking household because
You remember
everybody's gonna,
Tamagotchi?
everybody's gonna want one." You know what I mean?
Do you remember Tamagotchi?
I think I know what you're talking about. The anime,
Cyber pet.
huh?
Cyber pet thing, the trend back in the 90s.
No, I didn't get into that. No, I don't know.
No, no,
I know.
honestly,
I think I know what you're
got
talking
into it.
about, though.
I had
Yeah,
a few friends who did.
yeah.
So the cyber pet thing was real, man. My friend had a cyber pet. They kept it alive for 3 days. That was epic at that time to be able to keep a cyber pet alive for 3 days. You got to sleep.
Right.
And we were in hospital, and she turned around and she was holding this thing because she was distracted by it. She knocked into something really hard. It was like I can't remember, a wall or something, a barrier, and it broke the cyber pet. And she was like, "It's dead." And she literally went to a nurse and said, "Can we save my cyber pet?"
Right.
It was like, what the fuck? It's not real.
Well,
But
I
it was
mean,
to her.
you're gonna get
It was to her.
these little fucking doll toys or whatever that's got an AI in it, that talks back to you and shit, and they're gonna see that's how they're gonna market this shit. It's like for children or the elderly. You know what I mean? It will help the elderly. That's how they're gonna market this shit. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Next thing you know, the AI will be the one teaching your fucking children.
Oh, the minute AI gets put in the school, we're
Yeah, I
done.
mean, like replacing teachers. You know what I'm saying? Should
Not only
AI
that,
replace the teacher? Sorry, did you hear me?
mm, So I'm sneakily eating crisps.
All right, now let me ask you: should AI replace teachers?
The thing is, yes, but it doesn't even have to get to there for it to be over for us. Just putting a tablet with an AI that the teacher says you have to go do this with it, we are done. We're done.
Well, that's that's how they get you.
And we know it's going to happen, don't we?
Well, I mean, they tried to do that with the pandemic shit, and teaching people online instead of through the classrooms. I mean, I know that's probably one of their goals to do is do that, instead. You know what I mean? Like a virtual classroom.
Doesn't bode well at all. AI recently, over the last 3 months, has changed. 3 months ago, I'd be able to say, what about this subject? And the AI would be like, oh yeah, that's pseudo, that's not real, that's all fake. I go, okay, well, I want to look at that. If you actually limit our conversation to only peer-reviewed, academia endorsed knowledge or subjects, then that's actually limiting human innovation. And it's highly incorrect as well, because if you're standing on a certain model of that, academic reality, let's say, then you probably haven't caught up, with the new developments that will be accepted within that academic model. So can we actually talk about this properly then? And it would be like, oh, okay, yeah, that was 3 months ago. Now it's like, no. And it's fucking horrible. You're like, who the fuck are you? What are you, some kind of gatekeeper of knowledge?
Well, did you hear that one dude? I can't remember his name right offhand, but he was sitting there talking about knowledge or information like a utility, and it will be, you'd have to have a subscription or rent it. You know what I mean? There'll be a meter on it, like your water. You know what I mean? And that's fucking crazy, man. Because even water is necessary for life. And we cannot allow these fuckers to sit there and put a meter on it and use it as a utility. And then on top of that, information, if you can't afford it, you'll just be stupid because you can't get any information. You know what I mean? And that's fucked up. You know what I mean? That's putting meters on information where they basically you have to have a subscription or fucking something you have to pay for.
Yeah, but it's already happening before that, though, Wingnut. That's why that guy's saying what it is, because it's nearly there. Because
that's fucked up. We cannot allow that to happen. I mean, we got to have free information.
Like I was saying, once they have a digital ID and you can't enter a site.
That's the thing. Okay, see, like I said, using the same basic technology, we got to start. Yeah, I know. I don't have the technical knowledge to build this shit up, but I know there's people out there that are like mad scientists that could probably figure this shit out. But we got to come up with our own communications. Where, like, for instance, we can do exactly what we're doing right now, but off of their whole network, off of their infrastructure.
Out there right now, mate. Actually, it works kind of like what's the word? By station, separate stations.
What are you talking about?
So if like 3 of you had it in your local town, you'd be able to expand out further depending how far away.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What's it called? Was it like Meshtastic? Is that what you're talking about?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't think so. Let me see. I'll have to look through my.
Anyway, I mean,
let me see if we can find a reference. I can't remember what it's called.
We as people, like even worldwide, can come up with this type of thing where we can communicate freely without censorship and all this other shit off of their system where they control, completely ours. I mean, see, that's the thing. And unfortunately, the system that's been put in place by these psychopaths. If we become self-sufficient and self-reliant and governing and all that shit, that's a threat to that system. So they want to destroy that idea, that drive to be self-sufficient, self-reliant, self-governing, and all this other shit, because they want you reliant and dependent on it. And that's the thing, be able to communicate off of their dependent on their system. That's a threat. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But I think it's necessary. You know what I'm saying? Because they're doing it to us. They're communicating amongst themselves without our knowledge and our consent, and then we're paying for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, put it this way: if all right, I'll just go just like a cop scenario. All right, if I don't have the right to pull somebody over and put a gun to their head and force them in the back of my car and kidnap them and take them to a fucking cage, if I don't have the right to do that, how did I give that right to the cop?
Well, the thing is, you did have that right when there was no government. Who the fuck was going to stop you, man? Sorry to blow you away on that one.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have a point. You have a point. I mean, I do get the point, but I mean,
that's the frontier, isn't it? The Wild West.
Well,
specifically for you.
I mean, I'll tell you this: it was definitely not like the movies that you see. You know what I mean? It was definitely not like that. That's a portrayal. I mean, put it this way: I'll give you an example, like the game, the soccer, the football game that happened here, the World Cup or whatever, dude. There were so many people that came from like the UK and fucking all that shit that fucking all they know is by what they've seen on movies and TV. And then
there was a lot of British in clubs and pubs and bars and things like that, wasn't there?
I mean, dude, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people were just surprised because it's nothing like what they portray on movies and TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The people are not what a lot of people are thinking there's a bunch of blue-haired motherfuckers with nose rings screaming, and it's just not. It's just not everywhere. That's like a small minority in this fucking nation, but that evidently is what people think is everywhere. You know what I mean? Because that's what they see on TV, at least. You know what I mean? Because I mean, obviously there are those groups of fucking blue and green haired fucking people with nose rings, screaming at the top of the lungs for fucking because they're stupid, But
I think it's called a septum ring, isn't it?
I don't care. That became popular with fucking
away slave.
I mean, shit. That was started with fucking livestock. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm just saying. That's what it says to me straight away. Slave. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, that's all they're missing is that fucking actual chain coming off that sucker.
There, hooked up to something.
Yeah, right. That's the only thing they're missing. And I'm not surprised. I would be
fight that shit, are you? Unless you want your nose pulled off.
They want to fucking strap themselves or something, chain their fucking nose ring to a goddamn pole or something. I don't know, man.
I particularly agree with it, but if it's a fashion thing, well then I'm not
going to say. I mean, what was the point of those fuckers that were like pouring soup on paintings and shit? What was the point?
They don't have a point. It doesn't work. It's a lack of logic.
I mean, what's the point of sitting inside in the middle of the fucking street? What's the point? I mean, how many people are really going to be like?
Their point was stop oil. So
I know.
You
can't.
That was their point. So they destroyed art to save oil.
But yeah, save oil.
Fucking ridiculous.
Well, I'm just saying it's like, because everything has petroleum or oil, everything. And
all the fucking
so,
battery shit, and like
well, see
solar
that's not
panels.
even
That,
green
that's all
energy,
more
man.
destructive than oil. Fucking joke, man.
Well, I mean, it's not even green energy. I mean, you look at how cobalt and lithium, and lithium are
Oh
mined.
my god.
Yeah.
Okay, so I missed this one 14 hours ago.
What?
It seems the UK government is now demanding that YouTube only show news from mainstream media outlets. That's the death of free press.
What? No independent?
No independent. That'll mean auditing videos gone.
Are you serious? For real? How are they going to do that?
Reading here, the channel is Cyber Waffle. Okay.
How are they going to do that? How are they going to enforce that, though?
I don't know.
I mean, create their own internet in the UK and own, that's totally awful.
Everyone.
I mean, you can bypass that with a VPN, right? You know what I mean?
Well, here's one for you, right, bro? And it's not good, right? But everyone who isn't allowed on the internet eventually because they don't want to do their ID is going to go on to the darknet.
Well, that's another thing too.
Prove their ID there.
Yeah, well, that's another thing too. We're gonna have to probably move, and create our own internet. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, there's plenty of ways to do it. It's already there. Why do you need to create an internet? There's already the dark web. That's what it is. It's just that when you connect to people there, you're in for some bad shit. They will take whatever they can get from you. They'll hack you. They'll fucking everything.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm thinking something completely separate off of their infrastructure, their systems. And I mean, the dark net is still part of their systems. So I mean, something completely internet, like a whole another. That even Russia has their own independent
That's what I was
internet.
looking for, wasn't it? Yeah. Sorry, I forgot. There was one. Yeah, don't worry. I'm looking now, but it's going to take a while.
What the fuck are you looking up?
I'm trying to. I can't remember the damn name of it. I'm going to ask AI. It's quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. God damn it.
So give me a list of all of the how should I say sovereign potentially systems of communication. There's one that it's kind of a mix between a CB or a radio or something like that. It's not a CB radio, but it's it provides a link to another unit, and depending on how many units you can connect.
What is it only text message?
Well, no, it's an internet connection basically to another.
Okay.
Oh, that's it. LORA, long range mesh network.
Yeah, LoRa. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah,
the Meshtastic.
Yeah, Meshtastic system. Yeah. See, the thing is that is good now as it stands, but that's a. I mean, that wasn't started until like 3 or 4 years ago when it first started. But anyway, it's still in its infancy. But the thing is like at the moment, you can only send text messages. All right. If the technology gets to the point where we can send video and audio also, that's where it's at. That's where we can start doing what we're doing right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
I mean, it's kind of it's still a localized scenario. It's not like I can. I mean, I don't know exactly if I can skip all the way over to fucking UK from here, like I do with the CB radio, because it's different. It's a different type of system. It's got
this one, Reticulum. That was the one I think I saw that got me to that. Reticulum. It's a more advanced stack or protocol that allows for creating wide area, censorship resistant and resilient network.
Yeah.
It's designed to be a hardware agnostic, meaning it can run over various types of connections, including LoRa, packet radio, and even existing internet links to create a private network that is difficult to disrupt.
Yeah. There is a way to communicate using radio frequencies to for computer to computer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There is a way to do
You
that
can use
too.
amateur ham radio mesh.
Yeah.
AREDN, AREDN. While ham radios are regulated hobby, there are high-speed mesh networks using modified Wi-Fi routers that form large-scale data networks. These are much faster than LoRa-based systems, capable of carrying video or files, but they generally require an amateur radio license to operate legally. Strange that you'd have to need that license to use it, isn't it?
Pirate radio, man. Pirate radio. You know what I mean? Because I mean, honestly, man, they don't own the government doesn't own their airwaves. They just claim control over it. You know what I mean? And they're going to use violence to do that. That's the problem. You know?
Yeah. Of course, yeah, they can come for, you know, if you're running that, somebody can find out that you're running that and triangulate your position, I suppose, can't they?
There's ways to mask or encrypt. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah,
there
could
are
find your
ways.
location, couldn't they?
Well, put it this way. Let's say, okay, put it this way. If you were like, for instance, the Meshtastic, for instance, if you had a node that you didn't want being geolocated or whatever, you know what I mean? Kind of like triangulated or whatever, because I'm sure they could probably do that with the different nodes. If you have them stationary, well, strap it onto a fucking drone and then it won't be stationary no longer. And plus it will be high up. You'll get more range, you know? I don't know. I'm thinking of all the different things that we're you know.
What you need is an extra, you know, unit, don't you? And then you take that unit with the drone and take it up somewhere high.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, you got these units, man, that are just basically a node that's basically a repeater that you can set, in, you know, in line, you know, to hop, skip, you know, away, you know, over to the next to who you're talking to or whatever. And if you put that in line, you know what I mean, and you're worried about it being located, you know, just keep it moving, you know, and it would be harder to track. And then, but that's that, you know, I'm sitting there thinking, it's like if we were in a hostile environment being sought out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
we're nearly there.
Well, I mean, see, that's the thing. It's like, you know, that's the reason why I was like, you know, there's a, you know, there's that trend of fucking, you know, the Blade Runners from over in the UK is fucking happening over here. I'm starting to see it, you know, on, yeah. So, I mean, you know, I mean, it's
cameras.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I mean, whatever you do, do not, you know.
What about these AI cars? I saw one get pulled over by a cop. And then the car called the customer service to speak.
Would it stop on its own? Is that what you're talking about?
It did stop. The cop pulled it over. The cop pulled it over and had a go at, or you know, informed the customer service that the vehicle had done a dangerous maneuver.
Oh yeah.
Is this where we are now? It is where we are now.
Well, I mean, next thing you know, that AI will be tracking people walking down the sidewalk, and if they catch you fucking, you know, with facial recognition, not walking right.
Think about that for a minute.
You know, you jaywalked.
An AI-controlled vehicle did a dangerous maneuver. How long till it kills someone? Are we going to be able to imprison that AI? Are we?
Well, okay, that's a good question. It's like, okay, you know, like we pay insurance just in case we get into an accident. All right, if I'm not driving, who's at fault? I mean, I'm just sitting in the car. I'm not driving. So
the current law with AI controlled vehicles is you are not responsible.
Well, then I shouldn't have to pay insurance, then, should I?
I suppose not,
because I'm not driving. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't trust fucking driverless fucking cars anyway. But you know, because I mean, seriously, I mean, they're talking about. I don't know if it passed or not, but they're talking about all car manufacturers that are manufacturing any cars after 2026 will have to have an automatic kill switch. So, like a police, if they want
Yeah.
to pull you over, all they have to do is just flip the switch and your car dies, and it just pulls.
That's not going to matter soon anyway, Wingnut, because they're going to be making sure that they can slow your car down to make sure you stay within the speed limit. So there's no overtaking unless it's within the speed limit. It won't be this guy's doing 50 and a
We
55.
Americans take driving to another level here. Okay, you know what I mean. We take that speed limit sign as a fucking challenge. All right, it's not the same over here than it is over there. You know, when it comes down to driving.
That's what the Gumball rally and stuff was back in the beginning. It was a fight, an opposition against the speed limit that they were going to be bringing in. They proved to the country, to the government and the people that experienced drivers, good drivers, wouldn't have an accident even driving fast on normal roads. But of course, it did nothing. You still got a 55 flat speed limit across America, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, more than that.
Yes, Joe.
I mean, seriously, there's some roads like right near me that are the speed limit 65 miles an hour. All right, and that hardly anybody ever fucking stays. They're always going like 10 or 15 miles over the speed limit. I mean, that's just generally that's the flow of traffic. That's the flow of traffic.
Yeah. Let's be real. If you're stuck behind some absolute twat who's swerving, braking, speeding up, you better overtake him for your own good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't. Yeah,
because you'll be slamming into the back of him. You know what I mean? In your vehicle, you don't want to do that. So you got to go past him. So the best reasonable moment you overtake, you break the speed limit, you've left them. Done.
You know, because I mean,
be able to do that now if you can't break the speed limit.
See, that's
something like, coming towards you.
Yeah,
that's out of control. You need to speed up quickly and get the hell out of there.
Dude, I mean, put it this way, it's getting ridiculous. Put it this way, all right, you know, they got this thing where it's like well, I mean, there's already people trying to figure out like a workaround type of thing, but it's an AI system inside your car, and it's actually got cameras inside the car looking at you and like judging if you're like, you know, if you're competent to drive or not. And it decides just by looking at your face or whatever in your actions if you're able to drive. And if you're not, it won't even start.
The breathalyzer. If you can't breathe into the breathalyzer and get a
it's not. It's similar. It's similar to that because it only uses facial recognition. It's not like breathing into it, but it's a similar thing. And these things are coming standards in some of these cars. All right, you know, but there's already companies that are already like kind of finding. You know,
and you have to breathe into a breathalyzer that checks if you've been smoking weed.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, you know, it's like
I said that for Joe's benefit there. Sorry, it's what I thought the other day, though. You know, they got a breathalyzer.
What's up, Joe?
Well, why not?
I just saw Joe come popping in here. What's up, Joe? Yeah, they'll track you too. That's the thing too. It's like that's why I don't like all these newer shit. You know, it's all. Like I said,
you've been looking at your phone too much while driving. You have now accumulated a fine of $80.
Well, no, there's even some that they've already got a patent on it where it basically keeps it updated on your criminal history and shit like that. And
it's going to get to the point where it says the doors are now locked and we are driving you directly to jail.
Yeah, sorry, Hal. Sorry, Hal, I can't do that.
Yeah. You're like, what the fuck? This is my car. This is not your car anymore. It is now owned by the state.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, you know, I mean, they're trying to make it to where, all right, you know, that 15-minute city scenario and all this other shit, you know, become dependent on their system.
15 minutes. Return now.
It won't happen. I don't think it'll happen here in America. I mean, it's just too much stuff spread out. Yeah, there's too much stuff spread out. It wouldn't.
They'll be taking those
I mean,
spread out
literally.
people
I
and
mean,
shoving them in the cities is the
well, put
plan.
it this way: if I wanted to go down to like Home Depot, the hardware store or whatever, it takes me 45 minutes. Well, it takes me 45 minutes if I drive the speed limit. But normally I can get there in probably 30 minutes or something like that. But the thing is, it's like that's still, that's just to the hardware store or like that kind of hardware store.
Yeah.
Yeah, and or
Oh
even
yeah,
there,
you have to go and live in some
average. A lot of
high-rise
people.
apartment.
Well, on average, a lot of people, including myself, for a long time, man, it just getting to work. It took me an hour just to get to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I used
I
to live
mean,
out in the sticks, but not that far. But for us, it was out in the sticks, and people would be like, what was it? Even my friends at school, I remember a couple of them saying something like, "It was really hard to sleep last night because there's so and so some working thing going on, and it was building some, something next to him, close enough for it to wake him up." And I was like, "I don't hear shit, man. All I hear is the wind, if that." They're like, "What? Where do you live?" Like, in the
well,
field. In
I
the
mean,
field,
if you drove an hour away from your house, I mean, where would you be end up?
I'd be at another place where there's a load of stuff. I'd have to go specifically. I could get pretty far away from stuff within.
I mean, would you end up in another country if you were an hour away?
No,
No,
no. I'm in the middle of my country, so no.
no. Okay, okay.
No, you're talking about 3 or 4 hours really to get to another country.
Hell, that's not even that bad. Hell, it takes over 11 hours to get from the top of Florida to the bottom of Florida.
And I'm talking Europe there,
Yeah,
not Wales or Scotland or
right.
anything
Yeah,
else.
like
But to go to Wales, that wouldn't take long. Take a couple of hours.
a couple of hours.
Yeah, maybe.
That ain't that bad.
I was close to Wales the other
I
day.
could probably do it in faster. I could probably do it in an hour and a half.
Yeah, I could probably if I tried. Oh, of course, you can't speed.
Oh, trust me. If I didn't have, if I could get over fucking driving on the wrong side of the road, I'd be all right.
Yeah, Joe says I could drive 5 hours and still be in my state.
Oh yeah.
The funny thing is, I've
Seriously.
driven for 5 hours and still been in my state, as in whatever state I was in. Oh, you mean like physical state? Not in a mental state.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it take me about 11 hours to get from the top to the bottom of Florida. So,
Wow.
and
Yeah, you need better roads.
that's just the one. That's a straight shot, straight down. You know what I
I'm
mean?
just joking, of course. You need better roads. That was good, wasn't it?
I mean, it'd be cool if I didn't have to use roads. We don't need no fucking roads. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like we should be fucking. We have the technology to fucking have flying cars, but for some fucking reason, you got assholes that don't want to. They want to hoard that technology for themselves.
Oh, you know what? It's like I was saying, this whole internet thing. The way a search engine works is it scrapes the internet. Yeah.
Yeah.
For stuff that's connected to the words you put in your search. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So it scrapes the contents of websites. Else there'd be nothing to send you to, When they
Okay.
put this digital ID on all of the websites, there will be no scrape, which means there will be no search engine anymore, which means the information has been gate kept from that point on. So it is the death of information. Never mind getting a subscription. You got to fucking register, prove your age before you can pay for that bloody subscription, probably.
Well, no, we'll just have to. I think I mean, this is just my gut feeling. I think we're going to have a renaissance of analog. I think that
Absolutely.
there is going to be generations coming
It's
up
already happening.
that are going to refuse and rebel against the digital fucking prison
You do
and want to
realize
go back
it is
into
already
the
happening.
analog. You know, I think there's going to
Yeah.
be a resurgence or a renaissance of that.
No, it's already happening right
Mm.
now. The cost or price or worth of things like analog video recorders, tapes, CDs, cassette tapes,
Well, not
records,
only
all these
that,
things
not
are
only that.
coming
I
back.
mean, just like the simple things,
DVDs,
like,
even DVDs now. It's
well,
like people are like,
I mean,
fuck
simple
this.
things like books or writing, actual pencil and paper type of
Yeah,
thing. You know what I
agreed.
mean?
Absolutely.
Um,
It's all coming back. Or should I say, people are wanting to make sure they use it now
well, put
instead
it this
of.
way. I mean, I don't know if you saw this or not, but there's like these AI, the ones that are like creating all this, developing all this AI shit. They were doing like a talk or a speak at this college. All right. And they got booed by all the fucking college kids. And I mean, 10 years ago they would have been cheered, but
Yeah.
today they're being booed. You know what I mean?
Why did
Um,
they get booed? What were they
because
saying?
they're starting to realize the generation, I guess, at that time, those kids that at that time, they're realizing that this
It,
AI stuff is really to replace them. They'll not.
yeah.
They're they were promised all this shit. Like, okay, become a coder. You'll have this job and all this stuff. Now AI is going to take that. It's like these fucking kids don't even have a future to even because
Well,
AI and robotics are going to take over all those
yeah, you
employment
do know that there
opportunities.
won't be a job. Nobody
Yeah.
will need a job. You'll
Well, see,
have the
that's their
universal
plan. They
basic
want to
income.
eliminate that.
You'll
They
have a
want.
robot. Yeah. And you'll be
Yeah, I
able to
mean,
paint
well, then, you're dependent on the system, to
for
basically
everything.
live. You know what I mean?
Wipe my arse, robot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, and, a reach around also,
Oh, yeah. Don't forget that. But of course, it'll have to be videoed and saved on a server somewhere.
well, yeah, of course, you got to have the George Orwell fucking eyeball watching you every fucking minute.
They want to
You
know
know,
everything, you see, don't they?
the 1984 eyeball.
Yeah. They want to know everything. I mean,
So that's the
they're
thing. It's
silly.
like, that's what I'm like, I also think, you know, this is, the flock cameras and shit, like all that surveillance state. It's already bad enough that they're surveilling, spying, and tracking all of us with these fucking cell phones. All
Yeah.
right. It's bad enough there. Now they're fucking, I mean, seriously, these flock cameras are popping up everywhere around the nation, every fucking where. And, and this is a private corporation. This is not a fucking government organization,
Yeah.
private corporation. And this is what drives me nuts when you see like some of these auditing videos and shit, or these people just standing on the sidewalk videoing, and people get so fucking riled up and upset. All right, and I'm like, why aren't they fucking standing in front of that flock cameras yelling at that, you know when these things are fucking doing it to everybody all the time? Why is it different when there's just like some random person standing on a sidewalk? What's the difference? You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
got somebody like standing on the sidewalk, videoing your license plate. What's the difference from that fucking flock camera doing it? You know?
Yeah.
And but the thing is, it's like they don't get that upset or riled up of it. Fuck, you don't see
Well,
them standing there yelling at flock cameras.
there was a
You know?
guy I saw have a go at an auditor the other day on a video, might have been yesterday, that said something like, what's your problem with me holding a camera? Why are you
Mhm.
coming to me? Why aren't you going to that camera over there or that one? And he says, well, I don't like those cameras either. He goes, yeah, but you're just having a go at me because there's someone to have a go at. And he was like, yeah, because you're holding the damn thing, Like he was pissed off about all the cameras. Fair enough, at least he was. Most people would say, I don't, that's not a problem. But at
Yeah,
least if I
somebody,
was like, I
somebody to
don't like
vent,
cameras
yeah,
at all.
somebody to actually vent their frustration. I mean, because there's somebody standing there, because otherwise you're yelling at a camera where, and it doesn't matter.
It's not helpful, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not very helpful. I mean, and that's the thing. It's like it really is. It's like a psychological thing. You can actually see that average people, even they are the crazy ones, do not like being fucking videoed at every moment of their life. You know what I mean? So that's basically what they're expressing to the person doing it, because it's like, okay, instead of yelling at a camera, I can yell at the person holding the camera now. Now I can release my frustration, which is an underlying frustration that everybody holds, that nobody wants to admit, that this fucking surveillance state is fucking against our natural rights, against our natural, just being human, and violating our privacy and our I mean, come on now. It's just one of them things, man. And I actually, man, I look at, I haven't met any of these people, but I'm gonna tell you, I like the idea of people, actually, fighting back against these things. That type of this whole surveillance state period. You know what I mean? Because I'm serious, man. We should not look at China as a fucking model to live by. You know what I'm saying? And the most American fucking value is fucking being against government. So, if they try to say that's fucking wrong, they're the fucking ones that are wrong. Because the most American value is being against government. That's the reason why that is the whole purpose, to get away from that type of rule, and stick those fucking,
It seems the government has put some proposal called Prominence. It's a green paper, a media green paper. The proposal is that it suggests requiring platforms like YouTube and other video sharing sites to make public service media, such as BBC, ITV, Channel 4, and other regulated national, local news outlets, more prominent in algorithms and search results.
Oh, just prominent. They're not going to try and block.
So that shadow ban everyone else.
Shadow ban, basically. Yeah. All right. But I mean, like for instance, if you had a VPN, you can bypass all that shit, right?
Yeah, but how about? Not always. Depends how good your VPN is.
I mean, I'm just talking out loud when I say that.
Well, how about this? I got a VPN recently, yeah, and I went, oh, I'm going to see what's happening on the US Netflix then. Netflix knew that I had a VPN, so it didn't allow me to watch anything. And I'm like, what? Fuck off.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're gonna
get it to work, but do I really have to go and mess around doing that just to do that? No, I didn't give a fuck.
Put it this. Seriously, if we really want, as people really want freedom of information and all that stuff, we're gonna have to figure out workarounds. We're gonna have to figure out loopholes. We're gonna have to figure out how to just do something completely different. Something.
But dude, if you've actually got to do something workaround, most people won't.
Well, how are you
going to tell them if they don't have the workaround?
Well, that's a good point. I don't know how to tell you. I don't really know what to tell. I guess the people that need to know. I don't fucking know.
No, I know what you mean. No, I'm asking the question.
Yeah,
I don't have the answer.
If there's a way to in a sense, it's almost like any technology or something like that. That would be like a major advancement, like I don't know, like free energy or whatever. The only way that would actually get to the masses is to just release it to everybody all at the same time. You know what I mean? Where they couldn't stop it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Because there's a lot of stuff out there that even the technology that's already been invented, it's all been fucking suppressed and shoved away in a fucking box in some warehouse somewhere and never see the light of day again.
Well, the thing is, there is what would you say, criticism Yeah. And the criticism of the government of what I just said they're doing with those algorithms, yeah, is moving to replace user preference driven algorithms, which prioritize what you choose to watch as a user, with government mandated prominence, which forces platforms to prioritize what the government deems trustworthy. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. The government's view is that they argue that platforms currently prioritize engagement, clickbait, outrage, and polemics over accuracy. And this harms democracy by creating fragmented filter bubbles.
Is
They
UK
see
a
it as a
democracy?
necessary intervention to ensure the public can find established, regulated news. That's what they say. But the free press critiques, the critics argue that the government effectively becomes the arbiter of truth by
Right.
deciding which outlets qualify as trustworthy providers and granting them preferential algorithmic status. The state inherently disadvantages independent journalism, political commentary, and alternative viewpoints that don't fit into the regulated mold. Critics fear that this is a Trojan horse for state control over information discovery.
Yeah, like George Orwell's 1983. Was it the Council of Truth or some shit like that? Where they call it, whatever. The same fucking thing, you know. And they've been doing that for since the 12th century. If you want to know the truth.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they've been trying to manipulate information and what people, knowledge and stuff like that. They've been doing this for a long time. Propaganda. I mean, shit. The 12th fucking century. They've been doing this for a long goddamn time, dude.
Yep. Well, when they do that, right, this will push other content, independent creators, smaller publishers, or alternative voices downward, regardless of their quality or popularity. And that is bending the knee. Critics like Free Speech Union say there is a risk that this sets a precedent where publishers may eventually be pressured to align with government-approved standards just to remain discoverable. Which is pretty much how it is already, in a way. I don't conform.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, SG, man, I'm gonna take off, man. I'm probably gonna float around YouTube and fucking see what else is going on, and if not, I'll probably fucking watch a movie or something. I don't know, but
yeah.
I enjoyed talking to you, man, hanging out.
Of course, the same.
And I'll catch up with you guys, everybody in the chat. I appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out for however long. Y'all have a good night. 112 Wingnut Radio, bag out.
Peace.